What's going on, everybody? How are we doing today? John out here with you. It is Thursday, June 9th, 2022. Let's get into the starting lineups here for Game 5 at MSG. So for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's Steven Stamkos, Andre Palat, Nikita Kucherov. First line defense is Victor Hedman and Jan Ruda. Anthony Cirelli's in the second line with Brandon Hagel and Alex Killorn. Ryan McDonough and Eric Chernak are the second line defense. Nick Paul, Ross Colton, and Corey Perry will be on the third line with Mikhail Sergachev and Zach Bogosian. Your checking line, if you want to call it that anymore, is Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, Patrick Maroon, and Riley Nash with the big cat, Andre Vasilevsky, in goal. Now, this is going to be a little bit different here for the New York Rangers, so you're going to bear with me because I'm not exactly sure how Gerard Gallant is going to set these lines, but we do know that Ryan Strome and Philip Hedl are day-to-day. So that's going to kind of shuffle some of the stuff around for the Rangers and their availability for probably Game 6 or Game 7. But Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, Frank Petrano, with Ryan Lindgren and Adam Fox on the first line D. Barclay Goodrow, Artemi Panarin, and Andrew Kopp, with Keandre Miller and Jacob Trouba, the usual suspects, on the second line defense. It is normally Hedl, so there could be Kevin Rooney on the third line center with Alexei Lafreniere and Capo Caco, and then Justin Braun and Braden Schneider will hold on the third line defense per usual. But for the fourth side, whether it's the availability of Hedl or Strome, that could also be Johnny Brodzinski or Greg McKegg. Tyler Mott and Ryan Reeves are usually on that fourth line with Igor Shesterkin in net. So some things might be shuffled around here for the New York Rangers. It's going to be very important that they figure this one out at some point because, again, if you look at it objectively, yes, the series is still 2 games apiece. And now it is a best of 3. Both teams have held serve at home. And again, that sounds fine. But when you think about what's been going on with the Tampa Bay Lightning in the sense of getting a 3-2 win, remember it was Game 3 that New York was up 2-0. Tampa stormed back, especially in the mid-second period, all of the third, dominated, scored 3 goals, got the late one in the final minute with Andre Palat in the final minute. And Tampa, again, they charged. And then going into Game 4 that we just covered, it was a 4-1 Tampa Bay Lightning with Pat Maroon, Nikita Kucherov, and Stamkos, and then Palat with the empty netter. So Andre Palat has been very, very busy. And then for the New York Rangers, their lone goal was a 6-on-4 where Igor Shesterkin was pulled, and they got a power play advantage. Artemi Panarin scored off some good puck movement. So they didn't say this during the broadcast, but I'm glad I heard about it during the next part of the day because I was thinking I was the only one that thought about this. But in the sense of it, it was the New York Rangers absolutely getting dominated in Game 4. And then Hedl goes down. Remember, Ryan Strome was already missed part of Game 3 because of the shot blocking. Hedl took a hip check or something of the upper body injury, the prototypical that you don't get a lot of information on during all these times during the playoffs. So without availability possibly of Strome and Hedl being day-to-day, how does that shuffle lines there for Gerard Gallant's squad? Does Tampa have all the momentum, even though it's just 2-2, making this a best of 3? Now, I talked about this a little bit in Game 4. Would the Colorado Avalanche be able to kind of stem that tide, knowing that you have either Shesterkin or Vasilevsky on the other side? Well, you feel pretty confident, even if the Rangers would pull through. Let's say they did that. If they have some injuries in the back end with Strome and Hedl, that kind of messes up the kid line. That messes up all their production. Strome is a really, really good second-line center that could be on the first if it wasn't for Kreider and Vetrano or Kopp or Panarin or whoever else you want to throw on there. So this is big time for the Rangers to try to figure this one out tonight while also trying to win a very important game at home because they're not really going to get another opportunity unless it goes to Game 7. If they don't win tonight, it's very, very likely, again, I will be on the call on Saturday night, about 8:10, 8:15 the same time. But it would be very possible, again, if they don't win tonight, Tampa Bay could close this out on Saturday, and that would be it. So I would think, as we've said, many times throughout this broadcast, anytime someone asks me what team is this more important for, I've answered the Rangers consistently every time, no matter what the number is, because I told you from the beginning, even when I had Cooper Hopkins in here with me, I said, even if the Tampa Bay Lightning went down 3-0, I would still always favor Tampa until they're dead. So Andrei Vasilevsky, the big cat, in between the pipes for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They just pulled this to a best of 3. Igor Shesterkin on the other side. He's 10-7 with .265 and .929 save percentage. Numbers much better at home than they are on the road, and that's what the Rangers have to continue to hope for here, because I know it's 2-2, but as we talked about in the opening and before we get into the official part of the broadcast, I know it's 2-2, but it really feels like the Rangers have their back against the wall. Again, with Strome and Hedel being out or possibly being day-to-day, we're going to get a chance to look and sound and what it seems to be for Gerard Gallant's lines and how that's going to end up working out. So there's going to be a game within a game here in this Game 5 at MSG. So John out here with you with the official call. The blue shirts just turn it over here. Palat trying to stick through this, and he puts a shot just wide of Shesterkin near the left face-off dot. Goes down the red line now. A race for Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. So John Cooper has got that prototypical checking line out there first to try to get some of the shift advantage that the Rangers would have at home. Pat Maroon tries to bounce this off the kick plate to himself. And the Tampa Bay Lightning will be attacking left to right in the road whites with the bolt in the middle. And the blue shirts, the New York Rangers, will be attacking right to left with the blue shirt and the red piping on the bottom with the red pants. This goes to the Rangers right now and Ryan Lindgren. He's going to try to settle this in behind the cage of Igor Shesterkin. Zach Bogosian got a piece of it. He gets it back now to his defensive partner in Chernak. And this gets turned over across the red line, but Tampa is going to be content to just smash this thing around the kick plate. Shesterkin, a little bit of miscommunication there with Lindgren before they could get the puck out behind the cage, and it's a one-on-one foot race won by Mikhail Sergachev, but he turned it right over. But there was 3 Lightning players to 1 Ranger there, as Stamkos will flutter this one around. Big slap shot, and I don't know if that went in and out. I think the play might be blown dead at some point once we get a stoppage here, or if he hit the outside of the bar. It was a Stamkos exaggerated after a dump-in. Kucherov slammed the 1T, had the stick high in the air for the longest time possible. And we're going to take a look at the Sportsnet feed here momentarily. So Sergachev turns this one over. It goes right to the Lightning between the 3. And Kucherov, oh, man, he hit the right side of the bar, and it stayed out. That was crazy there for Kucherov. He had that exaggerated 1T like Stamkos had from Game 1 when he left that one goal. Holding that circle button, shot goes up and out of play. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw here for the Rangers. So we've already had a very close call here after a innocent Stamkos dump, and Kucherov hit the outside of the right post, and it stayed out. So 18-17 left to go in the first period. John out here with you from MSG for Game 5. The series is tied at 2. I could not be any more excited to bring this to you. The only thing that could be better if Cooper Hopkins would join me here on this call. Hopefully that ends up happening by my surprise. Mika Zibanejad can't get this one out, and this goes to the Lightning, and it's picked back up now by Rooney. Alexei Lafreniere, Schneider also trying to get a piece of it as well as this goes behind the goal cage of Igor Shesterkin. Cirelli trying to punish any of the New York Rangers there and get the puck to be turned over there. Killorn is going to join in as well. And this puck is just sitting near the left faceoff dot, and the Rangers are trying to make the transition into the neutral zone. Tampa has 2 forecheckers out there that have been making life difficult here for about the last 25 to 30 seconds. And here's a chance for a breakout here. So Hedel is available, so he was a little bit banged up there, but I have not seen Strome yet on the ice. But when I put that in there, I'll let you know. Ross Colton with a nice push ahead to go through, and it went behind the goal cage of Shesterkin, bounced out in front toward the right faceoff dot. It's a battle of possession right now between the Rangers and the Lightning. And now Nick Paul got bodied off. Ross Colton plays it out in front of that blue line. He gets it back. Nice interception there by the Rangers. It is a 3-on-3, but they're stuck toward the right dot. Try to put one out in front. Beetle plays it with the hand, and this goes left to the red line near the left face-off dot. Beetle with a nice check again to nudge that puck loose, and this goes back to Jan Ruda. Ruda finds Victor Hedman, so the first line defense out there right now for John Cooper. Jan Ruda is going to hold near the left face-off dot. Beetle left game 4 in the second period at 1 shot and 7:18 of ice time. Entering here is Tampa. Try to pass this around from Stamkos to Kucherov. Kucherov gets smoked, and now New York Rangers trying to break this thing out with Artemi Panarin toward the left face-off dot, holding off the backhand. Shot goes wide near the right dot now. Try to get picked up now by Hedl. Panarin gets it now from Mika Zibanejad. Keandre Miller as Panarin gloves this one down. Jacob Trouba holding near that left side blue line. He's going to rattle this around the kick plate, but Kucherov had none of it, and he's going to play this across the red line. Kucherov, nice pass. Bogosian has a 2-on-1. Trying to get that cross pass over, and great defense there by Keandre Miller to sacrifice the body and block that pass. And this is going to be an icing against the Rangers. So 15:48 left to go in the first period. It's been good action so far. Kucherov got smoked by a cross-check there. There was no call on that side of things. And let me try to give you some official numbers here on the ESPN box score. So just one shot to tell you about, because the one that hit the post does not count. That was Nikita Kucherov just off the outside of the bar. Just a couple minutes in, that could have been a goal if it was maybe just a foot closer. Killorn has it off the draw wing, picked up now by the blue shirts. Panarin plays this one ahead. Mika Zibanejad trying to go right in the middle of the slot. This is turned over now with Alex Killorn. Alex Killorn tries to play a cross pass, falls the blue line. It goes one of the defensemen there. Shot goes wide of Shesterkin, and Keandre Miller will safely backhand this one. Nice body work there by Ryan McDonough to knock down one of his former teammates there on the New York Rangers. So again, you kind of wonder how these guys are feeling between Barclay Goodrow and Ryan McDonough to be on opposite sides of what they once were. As we've hit about the 15-minute mark of the first period, we've got Let's Go Rangers chants at MSG. Again, it's bated breath as everything is 2-2. It's turned into a best of 3 right now. Picked up across the right faceoff dot. Blue shirts trying to get a handle of this as Trouba and Schneider will play this one across the red line. Jan Ruda kind of closing it off. Try to get an extra pass across. It was blocked by the Bolts. And now Pierre-Edouard Bellemare will go back in behind the big cat and go play this one. He's going to leave it here for Victor Hedman. Hedman trying to get across that red line. He's going to go ahead and take a change. He's going to be tired. He's been out there for about 2.5 minutes. So this is Ryan Lindgren in behind the cage of Shesterkin. Looking to break out here are the Rangers. Nice backhanded pass and a give-and-go setup. Lindgren is able to get this one in the zone. A rush in there by Trouba, so we'll see one of the forwards pinch back. Because Zibanejad stole it. He tried to snipe that left side of the post, and it went just wide. Kreider now in behind the cage, waiting for a pass outlet. Adam Fox, couple of toe drags. It found Zibanejad's stick and then hopped over. Nice stick check there by Lindgren to set it back up across the red line. And here's a chance for Kreider. He got it knocked away. He picks it back up as Fox helps him out. Pass across for Barclay Goodrow is now turned over. And Tampa can settle this thing down. It's 13:30 left to go in the first at MSG. John, I'm here with you for Game 5. It's just 1-1 on the shot board right now. Put it across the red line here by Tampa. Corey Perry's the first one to try to get on this thing, trying to get around Keandre Miller. Alexei Lafreniere also out there as part of the kid line. Lafreniere seems to be getting better every single game. Shot was saved by Shesterkin with the right glove and then played quickly. So luckily for the Rangers fans, there was no turnover. Puck is waiting across the red line now. Nice chip ahead. There was a little bit of a dangerous pass there by Trouba. And maybe Tampa might be able to break out something. Good move there by Nick Paul. But even better defense there by the Rangers to break that one up. He had a chance in the slot. Glove down as it was dumped in, and the Rangers will go for some wholesale line changes. And it seems like Tampa's going to do the same, as this is with Mikhail Sergachev. Sergachev trying to get this across the blue line now. It's turned over. Blue shirts have it as they work across the red. Panarin's got it toward the right dot. He tried to put a backhand pass out in front. One of the Rangers blew a tire. That was Andrew Kopp, the former Winnipeg Jet. And now the Bolts pass is too hard. They got bounced off in front. Trying to keep it alive was Jan Ruda. He gets dumped on the other side. Picked up now by the Bolts. They got to wait as Kucherov can get back on side and a delayed offside call. And Shesterkin is going to leave this one here for Lindgren. Lindgren quickly outletted to Adam Fox. Adam Fox looking for the outlet pass. Kopp got bodied there, and he had to go for a change as this goes back to the giant Victor Hedman. He's got it now through the red line. Gets this one in here for a chance for Ruda, and this gets turned over as Zibanejad got a piece of it. Chance now here for Kreider. He's going to rattle this one around the kick plate. Picked up now by Ryan McDonough. Kreider tries to meet him there in behind the cage of Vasilevsky. I noticed much better forechecking here for the Rangers in Game 5. Shot right on, stopped by Andre Vasilevsky. Much better effort, much more comfortability here in Game 5. Although it's early, it's just 2-1 in favor of the Rangers. But again, you have to see what you can see here. Kreider trying to snipe that short side. We'll be right back. 11:32 left to go in the first period.
Hi, Arjun. Welcome to your new home. You're probably a bit scared. If you get homesick, try making one of Mom's recipes. Invest in a good winter jacket. Trust me. And make sure you start with the right advisor. They're going to be by your side for a long time.
Join Bet365 now and discover the power of the world's favorite sportsbook. Watch thousands of live games, build your own bet. You can even bet on games while they're still being played. Seriously. And if you can't watch the games live, we'll alert you of any changes. Nice. We're the world's favorite sportsbook, and this is no ordinary betting app.
Welcome back. It's time to see who's hungry. Brought to you by Safe Conditions, the official food delivery app of the National Hockey League. Without the interest rate and point the lightning, of course, they had someone to step up, and that someone has been Andre Palat, who's been absolutely sensational. A career high 3 points in that game 4 win. Now, alongside Kucherov and Stamkos, Stanley's new one big three have scored 9 of the Lightning's 11 goals in this series. John Cooper said the biggest compliment you can play Palat is this. Players want to play with him. Everyone wants to play with him because they know when they're on his line. Partner Ryan.
David, John Cooper calling Palat a warrior, beats hard, hockey sense, just heaping praise on Andre Palat.
Back into the action now as the Blue Shirts win the draw. Keandre Miller is going to slam this thing on the kick plate. And Aaron trying to body up to get that puck loose. A shot from the blue line by Trouba. That went wide of Andre Vasilevsky. It's really back underway here. About 11:10 left to go in the first. We're scoreless here in Game 5. It's just 3-1 in favor of the Rangers, as nothing is yet on the score sheet. Vasilevsky comes out of the goal crease to play this one. Tampa trying to get an outlet to Kucherov across the red line, and they're going to have to go back and check this thing up, as Mikhail Sergachev is going to play this here. Bogosian, Sergachev passes this one out in front. Nice off the kick plate again to Kucherov, but he's offsides once more, and they got to go back into the Rangers logo. It's picked up by Alexei Lafreniere on the left dot. Nice centering pass across. Beetle, Vasilevsky down, and here was a chance for Gaudreau, and that went wide. That was a good sequence there initially from Lafreniere, but Kopp got in too tight. He fell down, and it didn't allow him to pick up that shot. He might have been able to roof it there on Vasilevsky. Adam Fox is going to touch up here for icing. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw here for the Rangers. That was a great design there for Lafreniere to get that one across. Kopp just didn't have enough on it to be able to stay on his feet. So that was pretty close here for the New York Rangers. 10:20 left to go in the first period. John here with you from MSG Game 5. I got the Sportsnet coverage on the other side of it. Another faceoff won. This one Mika Zibanejad. Keeping it from the blue line into the screen. Big Cat makes the save there. So it's 4-1 in favor of the blue shirts right now. And again, as I've talked about a little bit through this first period, but it bears repeating here, this is a much better effort here for the Rangers at home, as you would suspect. Vasilevsky at 1.5 goals against, 954 save percentage in the last 2 games. And again, those Terminator eyes that you see every time Sportsnet cuts in when the faceoffs are hit. I believe Strome and Hedel are available now because I just saw Strome. So Strome and Hedel are good to go, even though they're day-to-day. So that should really put the kid line back with Hedel on the third line with Capocacco and Lafreniere, and Strome on the second with Artemi Panarin and Kopp. So that's good for Gerard Gallant's squad. They were not available really in Game 4. Picked up now Lindgren. Fox going to hold. He's going to try to leave this one here for Kopp as it's spun around the kick plate. Picked up now by Vetrano there momentarily. He's still stuck with it. And he got smoked off the hit. It's on the left side of the red line. Picked up there nicely by the blue shirts. Panarin through a screen. Gets it back again. And this goes toward the left dot now. Still picked up with Andrew Cobb. Some yeoman's work here by the blue shirts. This looks a little bit like Game 1 with some of this puck possession, and it does wonders as it's kept in, but it's not onside. 9:25 left to go in the first. Ryan Strome tried to keep that one alive, and the MSG crowd is up to its feet, and I can understand why. A lot of their lines are ready like they were in Game 1, and they're playing pretty well, although it's scoreless. 9:25 left.
Welcome to your new home. You're probably a bit scared. It's okay. If you get homesick, try making one long-term space. Invest in a good winter jacket. Trust me. And make sure you start with the right advisor. They're going to be by your side for a long time.
I have been captured. You have 48 hours to rescue me. My minions will save me. Unless they don't, which is a real possibility.
It's the rise of Root. Join Bet365 now and discover the power of the world's favorite sportsbook. Watch thousands of live games. Build your own bet. You can even bet on games while they're still being played. Seriously. And if you can't watch the games live, we'll alert you if any changes. Nice. We're the world's favorite sportsbook, and this is no ordinary betting app.
Canada's home for blind music is The Rock, hosted by Angeline Tenaweo. Tune in weeknights at 7 on CBC Music or anytime on CBC Listen. Consider as we see through this conference final, they're tribute to the 94 Stanley Cup Championship team. There's Mike Richter on the left and Adam Graves on the right.
Mike Richter, Adam Graves, Mark Messier, Gilbert, Lundqvist, all the other names that we said have been in the rafters. You see them even today. This is at the blue line right now, to the neutral zone, picked up by the blue shirts. It's rattled around the red. As this is picked up now by Jan Ruda. He gets smoked off the puck. Nice forechecking there by Vetrano. Trying to play this one out in front. Picked up now by Braun. Lets it go for Schneider. And it goes off the glove of Vasilevsky now in behind the cage. Picked up now by Schneider again through the screen. And this goes to the right faceoff dot. Schneider has it around the blue as they wrap this one around behind the goal cage. Picked up now from Artemi Panarin. He's spinning off the puck several times. Pinballs went out in front. Schneider's got it as he pinches in on the red line side. And now Victor Hedman trying to leave this here for Mikhail Sergachev. So John Cooper is kind of mixing with those lines again. Try to get something going here. This is a possible 2-on-3. They pull off the post again! 2 posts for the Bolts. And this could easily be 2-0 on the other side from Nick Paul and Nikita Kucherov. But the outside of the crossbar saves Shesterkin both times. Stamkos tries to play this one in. The Kucherov outlet pass. Trying to find Andre Palat. And this goes in behind the blue shirts is Jacob Trouba, but he's going to need some help here toward the left dot. Nice sidestep through by Vetrano. Able to create some space to try to get some power on that pass and get it down the ice, but it was a little too hard. It's a touch-up for the Lightning. So Nick Paul and Nikita Kucherov, you can't count either one of those shots on goal because they didn't hit the goal. They hit the crossbar. So that right side of the crossbar between the middle and just a little lower part are going to have some dents in it. It's been hit in the same spot. And unfortunately for Bolts fans, what could easily be 2-0 or 1-0 is still 0-0 because of the crossbar. So 7:57 left to go in the first period. John on here with you. And even though it says 4-1 on the shot sheet, there's been a lot of action here. And you'd think even though the Rangers have played a little better every game, they've also dodged a couple of bullets there from the post. So this could easily go either way right now with 7:45 left in the first. Zibanejad trying to keep this alive across the blue line, able to create more time. And Chernak gets this one down to Alex Killorn. And the play is going to be blown dead for an offsides, I believe. So Igor Shesterkin, they're showing goals allowed this series. 4 by the high glove, 2 in the 5-hole, 3 in the low blocker. Those are the spots that he's been beat the most. He's only been beat high blocker side once and low glove. He's not been beat yet. If that's a little bit of a depth chart retrospective on how to beat Shesterkin, 6 goals on 82 shots in the last 2 games. So a little bit of human after all here for Shesterkin, but you think about Shesterkin and Vasilevsky, can't say that too many times. As far as the goaltending situation, you can't argue between Tampa, New York, and Colorado for the 3 teams that are left right now. And again, there will just be 2. By the time this is done here, even it goes game 5, 6, and 7, no elimination game tonight, but possibly in 6 and 7 could be. In the sense of the 2 better goaltenders are on this side, no doubt about it, but Colorado has such offensive firepower, they can make things interesting. And nice work there for the Rangers to knock the puck away from Anthony Cirelli as this gets across the blue line. Pat Maroon will play this across for Sergachev, and he's going to leave it to Sergachev one more time near the right dot. So Sergachev and Pogosian out there together right now. Perry with Belmont, 4th line with Perry and Maroon. Perry trying to cause some chaos there, able to break it through. He was able to. Belmar still toward the right dot. He needs help, though. There's all kinds of blue shirts around him. It's played with a glove hand. Pat Maroon somehow was able to keep that alive in between 2 Rangers. He let a shot for Riley Nash go off a feed, and it was stopped by Shesterkin. So great work there by Patrick Maroon. If you want to be able to get 4 cups in a row, because don't forget, even though Tampa is going for back-to-back-to-back, Maroon is going for his 4th, if that ends up working through. If you want to be able to do that, you got to be able to make some of those plays, especially on a 4th line. Doesn't matter where you are. That was some good work there by Pat Maroon. And on the other side, it was Zach Bogosian in Game 4 that was able to make something happen there for Palat. Barclay Goodrow needs to win an important defensive zone faceoff. Zebras dropped this one unfairly, and now they're just going to go ahead and kick Barclay out of the draw here. So it's going to go to Hedel. Hedel can't win it clean. This goes back to Jan Ruda. Ruda, Colton lets it go through the screen, and I think Shesterkin might have got a piece of it, but this is with the Bolts. Back to Ruda. He's going to unload one more time, and as this goes across the red line, another right dot, shoots it high, and somehow Shesterkin caught that in the trapper. I have really no idea how, as there was 3 players all over him. All the sight lines were covered. So that's a good-looking save there for Shesterkin, even though it was at an odd angle near a flutter near the right face-off dot. But I think Tampa certainly had the right idea. You wanted to get that traffic there. Ruda had a couple of chances at it off the slap shot, deflected off Nick Paul's leg, and Nick Paul couldn't find it enough just for the rebound chance. So you'd think probably through the time that we have left in this first, about 5 minutes left to go, that Tampa's had the better of the chances. Two posts, and that one right there I think was pretty dangerous. You got 6:29 left to go in the first. Even though there's not a lot of shots, New York might have played a little bit better, but the better chances I think have gone to Tampa. Because again, you don't count those posts as shots. Picked up now Lindgren. He's going to get this one. He's going to break across the red line, leave it for a back pass, but nobody's home. And this could be a chance for Steven Stamkos, although it's 1-on-2. He's going to leave this one back here for Kucherov. He's being bothered, and it gets turned over. Panarin tries to keep this alive across the backhand. I was just going to protect the puck as best as he can. Try to get back to it. Gets it to the Keandre Miller. Nice set up there for Trouba. And the shot goes wide. It was less at 94 miles per hour. Put out in front. Panarin lets it go. Vasilevsky with a second save. He made the first one with the glove hand side. The second one went up and hit him right in the helmet. And we get a stoppage. 5:46 left to go in the first. And just as I say, some of the better chances have been with the Rangers. What a beautiful drop pass there set up for Trouba. The shot was too hard to get saved clean. Panarin and then Hedl also had another chance at it. So 3 straight saves. Trouba, Panarin, Hedl. Vasilevsky denied them all. 5:46 left to go in the first.
Any car can take you, but mine does so much more. It keeps me connected to the things I like, heading in the right direction, and looking good. When the unexpected happens, it helps protect me. That's why it's more than just a car to me. New mantra: stay connected and protected. Hey babe, you even that?
No, I'm good.
Whose cat is that?
Who needs napkins? We've got pants. Playoff pants are back. Three best friends navigate friendships, careers, and romance in the second season of 20s, now streaming on CBC Gem.
Couple good chances in a row by the New York Rangers. The kid line once again going to work off this glass by Trouba. Finishes his trip in the corner, creates that turnover, and they go to work. The first one by Panarin, who's up there with Hedl. Fans on that one. I don't think the ball well. You can see that puck was still up for grabs.
It's an offensive zone draw here for New York. 5:46 left to go in the first period. Drawn under with it for Game 5 at MSG. It's Hedl and Stamkos. Stamkos able to kick that one ahead to McDonough as this goes across the red line. And this is picked up now by Trouba as the Lightning are able to get this one out. Trying to enter here is Alexei Lafreniere. Nice toe drag set up across. And good defense there by Palat to break up that play. He finds Pagosian. Beautiful outlet there, but Tampa has no reinforcements. Hedl has to take the body of Pagosian, try to play this one across Shesterkin's goal cage. This is still in the defensive zone of the blue shirts as Hedl tried to fast break this one to Lafreniere. Tried to play it off the backhand back to Hedl. That was a good design, but it wasn't really ready. There wasn't enough space. Kucherov, the one forechecker, the pass goes off of Hedl's skate, and that's going to be an icing. 4:55 left to go in the first period. 7 shots to 3 in favor of the Rangers. But again, don't forget 2 posts for the Tampa Bay Lightning, courtesy of Nick Paul and Nikita Kucherov, and in the 3-save sequence that was stopped from Vasilevsky on Trouba with the one slap shot, Panarin out in front of the slot, and Hedl right on the doorstep. Vasilevsky said no to all of them. Lafreniere right now out there, 51 seconds. Hedl, minute 10. Kakko, 55 seconds. As it's the live clock is ticking on their shift time for the kid line, normally line 3 for Gillard Gallant squad. Put it across the red line to McDonough, Chernak. Chernak going to pick this one up now. Chernak trying to alleviate some pressure as this goes down the goal stick of Shesterkin and picked up now by Lindgren. Adam Fox, Norris Trophy candidate. It's off the kick plate. Nice moves by Vetrano and Zibanejad trying to just buy some time here. We'll see if the Blue Shirts can get across this red line. Now Vetrano overstated the puck as he's trying to get around Anthony Cirelli. There's skates and sticks all over the left side red line here, but it's not going to be blown dead because there's some movement here amongst the players. The puck is just trapped in between all these sticks and skate blades. Tampa will finally emerge with it in their own end. They get this across the red line, and now this gets intercepted where Tampa can kind of take their time. They can get some forward changes, and that's what they do right now. With 3:40 left to go in the first period, McDonough now is just going to back up in behind the cage of Vasilevsky as they're really kind of just going to get set between left, center, and right, get that spacing as much as they can. Finally across the red line now, try to get backhanded in, was denied there by the Blue Shirts, picked up now by Lindgren and Fox. Lindgren and Fox could have just stood there and ate a sandwich. They had all the time for Tampa to get set up there, but they couldn't get across that red line. Picked up now in the defensive end by the Bulls. Chance for Corey Perry. He's going to backhand this one and turn it over, but there aren't any Rangers in the vicinity, so Tampa can try one more time. As Perry is going to go on the forecheck side of things. He's going to play a little bit toward the slot, is Perry, and now he's going to have to turn on the Jets and try to get back off the hustle. As it was Reeves trying to get a couple stick checks in, and now a big hit against Corey Perry, but this goes from Victor Hedman now to Nick Paul, who just hit the previous post for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They got 3 shots for the Rangers, 7 in a scoreless first period so far. Zach Bogosian flutters this one off the kick play now to Pat Maroon. Andre Palat. Maroon picks it up. Power move in front of the net. He's trying to get a shot on Shesterkin. That one went wide. Maroon, one more time off the backhand, cut off by Keandre Miller. Good active stick work there. And then he just punishes Belmar on the other side with an elbow. Sticks are falling here for the Rangers as they're trying to desperately get this out of their zone. Chopped at it nicely. And now Strome with an extra move. This is Barclay Goudreau. He's the one trying to go one-on-one with Sergachev. It's turned over now as we got 2 minutes left to go in the fast-moving, scoreless first period. In behind the defensive end. Shesterkin with Fox, Lindgren. Fox has it now. Gives it across to Lindgren, across the red line. Try to get it to Mika Zibanejad. He got spun around like a top there. And this bounces, corrals off the kick plate. And this could be a race for the puck, but it's 2-on-1. Anthony Cirelli is not going to win that one. 2 Blue Shirts there, but they turn it over. Cirelli in Gretzky's office, trying to go toward the right dot hole up the backhand, flutters something out in front, but it didn't hit Shesterkin. Lindgren spins this one back around, and Kreider will get this now as this goes back to Lindgren and behind Shesterkin's office here. Minute 10 left to go in the first period. John, I'm with you from Game 5, MSG. Glad to be here in a 2-2 series tie. We'll see who wins this pivotal swing game. Lafreniere set up there for Trouba. And that was another missile about 93.5 miles an hour. Stopped and held by Vasilevsky. We got a minute left to go in the scoreless first period. So again, as I've talked about a couple times already, besides that sequence of saves there from Vasi on Trouba, Panarin, and Hedl, off that back-to-back-to-back, the Rangers are looking more comfortable on their home ice, as you would expect, and yes, their lines are intact, we found out, as Strome and Hedl are on the second and third lines, respectively. Tampa had a couple posts there with Kucherov and Nick Paul. But this is one of those games where the Rangers have to feel pretty good, although Tampa, I don't think, really has their head down either, because it could easily be at least 1 or 2-0 on the other side if it wasn't for a couple of feet. So picked up now Keandre Miller, and to be wary of Andre Palat. Good stick checking there by the Bolts. And this one goes down the ice. Is it going to be an icing? Yes, it is. Victor Hedman's going to touch up. 41 seconds left to go in the first period. So what I was really kind of just thinking about and leaning into, again, there's a lot to be talked about with the Colorado Avalanche, right? You got about at least 10 days off. So, you're hoping on that side that this series gets extended so they can get that long layoff. I don't really think for Colorado too much of a long layoff is too much of a long layoff. You take the time that you can get, especially this time of year. But when you're thinking about these two teams especially, how is this level of play going to translate? Colorado is used to that north and south type of action when these two teams go east and west with the dominant goaltender. So it's going to be something to think about when we get into the Stanley Cup final. There's going to be at least one of these teams advancing to play Colorado. Hedman with the slap pass. It bounces off the kick play back to Kucherov. Picked up now by the blue shirts, but not out. Victor Hedman keeps us alive. Stamkos tried to center it out in the slot. That was a pretty good idea there, but the Rangers able to find it now. And we'll see if Hedl gets to it. He does. Hedl leaving it now, trying to leave some time here for Fox. Hedl still has it. The Tampa Bay Lightning didn't win that foot race, even though it seems like they probably should have. But now this is sitting at the red line. I think time's going to run out here. Fox and Palat collide, but it is 0-0 after one. And we will see what happens in that second period. I will be back for the call. Enjoy the first intermission, everybody. We will talk to you shortly.
Shots 8-3 in favor of the New York Rangers. No score here after the first period of play. Stay tuned for our intermission coverage with Ron McClain. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue at Hockey Night in Canada.
This period of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Scotiabank. See how we're changing the game at scotiabank.com/hockeyforall.
A can of paint or a can of genius. Premiere. Snaps open and closed. With an airtight seal that keeps paint fresh. No rust, no regret. Premiere. Paint without the pain. Only at Canadian Tire.
Yo, I need me some Eddie, bro. Nacho cheese is forever. Yeah. Gillette introduces the all-new Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar, a razor designed to give you a quick and easy shave. It combines shaving and gentle exfoliation into one efficient stroke. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades, giving you a shave as quick and easy as washing your face, so you can look like you put in an effort, effortlessly. Razor handle guaranteed to last 5 years, or we'll replace it. Gillette, best you can get.
It's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. Goldstein DiBiase represents clients in all serious personal injury lawsuits with care. Trusted relationships through the entire legal process. Goldstein DiBiase. Call us first. 519-253-5242.
Welcome to Comedy Night, featuring the best stand-up comics this country has to offer.
The hardcore gets replaced by stand as men and women in Rome. Beach volleyball world championship. Saturday at 1 Eastern on CBC and CBC Gem.
June 21st, it's time to crown the NHL's top rookie, best defenseman, most valuable player, plus top goalie, and more. Celebrate the NHL Awards June 21st on Sportsnet.
Is there anything more fun than the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Every night before puck drop, the Sportsnet Hockey Insiders get you ready for all the night's playoff action.
Did you see that?
Hockey Central every game. Sportsnet.
Not sure what Kevin's going to do with this, but he is going to do something with it. Certainly the Sedins were masters of that play. Pass off the end boards and draw with a chance. No scoring through 20 minutes of play. Kevin Bieksa, Kelly, Rudy Elliott, Freeman, and Kelly. Why don't you begin with the New York Rangers the best?
Okay, and we've been talking about this for a while now. Shoot high on Vasilevsky on blocker side, right? And that's what the Rangers have been doing. In fact, I thought maybe a little bit too much. So 3 of the first shot attempts in tonight's game were high blocker, right? And so they have identified. That's great scouting to know that that's where a lot of the goals have gone in on Vasilevsky. But I'm watching this and I'm going, guys, you got to sprinkle in some other shots from somewhere else. I mean, it's so obvious now that you're going high blocker. Now, the good thing is, as the period went on, then the Rangers did sprinkle in some other shots. But I mean, advanced scouting's terrific. But wow, that's pretty obvious.
Especially from bad angles. Bad angles, you want to go with the feet usually, right? And get some sort of a rebound. So you don't always be high blockers.
I remember Rich Redwing remember once he said that Scotty Bowman said he hated it when the same player shot the same place all the time. He used to drive him absolutely.
We know exactly what Red Wing it is. He just went,
No, I actually can't. No, now that it's been 30 years, I don't think. I think the statute of limitations of fear is up on that. I legitimately can't remember who said it.
I do know Brendan Shanahan used to famously drop his shoulder and go high. So he loved to shoot high. And I don't know if it was you, Brendan. I'm sorry if it was. But anyway, what little trickery did you notice?
Well, we talked about earlier in the class about how the Lightning are famous for grabbing sticks, and that allows them to create so many more opportunities. Well, Jacob Trouba has learned the lesson. And when he watched this play in the period, he takes a shot, he follows it, hits Hedman in the corner, and then look what he does. I've seen you guys do this, now I'm going to do it too. And it really works for the Rangers. You know, Hedman's all tied up, can't get to the puck, and a couple of good opportunities come out of it. So what's good for one is good for the other.
to be clear, Kelly and I have never mentioned anything about holding the stick. That was all you.
Well, I think it was good. I'll take credit for it.
It's kind of a fox.
It was your idea.
I'll give you a Fox joke on the way to break. But yeah, with us all night, Kevin's on the Fox jokes and very fast.
That's a team I think we're going to hear a lot tonight.
Tampa's like a pack of dogs, the way they stick up for each other after the whistles. But I'm going to show the couple chances that we had. So you mentioned the City player, the indirect, and it's a smart play when you think the left winger or the right winger has to step on the defenseman. It's this indirect flat pass off the end wall. And I haven't seen it one time too much, but that's Kucherov's skill set for you. Hits the post, and here Kucherov's going to get caught out with Paul and Colton here with a nice little tip pass there. I actually think it's Corey Perry. And that's the other one. Shooting it through the defensive screen, a la Matt Sundin from 1993. That hits the post as well. I don't care what you say, Kelly. I think they're going to that he hits the post behind it. Here's a fourth line getting in on the action, and Pat Maroon and Nash and Bellemare and creating some zone time, making the Rangers playing their line. I mean, this is what we have to work with here. This wasn't a whole lot.
There was not a lot.
7-3, so they're getting 3 best chances of the period. Enjoy it.
So you tell me after watching this, Kevin, Patrick Maroon is sometimes a tough sell for you, but this is a shift where I just thought,
He's been impactful tonight, right?
There's an expense. You know, he gets it in traffic, routine, backhand pass, down the other end, big hit here to come in, effectively on the far side, then he gets the pass and a little, just a one touch to get it to Riley Nash, who turned out to be.
This is where he's at his best, though, Ron. Down low in the zone. We would do a drill all the time in Anaheim. There's a Randy Carlisle special where he'd have the forward and the D in the corner, and he would say, just protect the puck. Nobody could get off the ring.
And even that, right on the bench, Riley Nash working at achieving some chemistry. So, yeah, good for Patrick Maroon.
Good for you. This is funny. The Tampa Bay didn't have much to work with all period. And here's a funny example.
They were a little bit off, and so Kevin and I noticed this immediately. Ryan McDonough behind his net, and they're trying to exit the zone, right? And you're going to see, watch this, he's going to take his hand off his glove, in fact, and he's going to go to Ruda. Beyond. What are you doing? This is not what we do. Watch Ruda. He's going to the right of McDonough. There's McDonough. What are you doing? This is not how we run this exit. And then Ruda adapts. I just thought that was pretty indicative of this period. Just everybody was a little bit off.
I just noticed Ruda there. He was clueless the whole time. I didn't know where to go.
Well, I kind of figured he must have yelled at him. I don't know if you Yes, he did. Okay, then do you want the joke now? Let's show a quick hit first. This is Fox going at Palat right at the tail end. He was all over the ice, Fox. He must have saw it opening. But here he comes at Palat. He's obviously been a key to the deal for Tampa. Just a little thing at the tail end of the career, so to speak. So the joke is, why do foxes hunt rabbits? You know. Because they like fast food, of course. Cabby, Andy, you can take it from here. Please.
See, it reminds me of an Eddie Murphy joke, which I can't share right now. But Andy McNeil, Beeson is here, and we can share the update on the live money line. The home team has won every game in this series, and the Rangers have won 8 straight at Madison Square Garden. Andy, where does that leave us right now with the live money line odds?
Yeah, pretty much right where we started. The Lightning minus 140 favorites. The Rangers coming back to the other side at plus 110. It's been a pretty low event game. Just 31 shot attempts. Only 19 of those shot attempts were unblocked. And the total is now sitting at 3.5, shaded to the over at minus 130.
Okay, thank you so much for the update. And back to you, Ryan.
That's right. Should have taken the honor from Liam Neeson. Yeah, there we go. We've got celebrities, as always, at Madison Square Garden, New York, and John McEnroe, who is a good buddy of Henry Lundqvist. He's in attendance as well. No score, 2-1.
Follow the NHL on social media for behind-the-scenes coverage of the biggest moments, original content with your favorite players, and highlights from the best plays in hockey.
And how will we pay? I my own money by leveraging near-field communication technology that allows encrypted data to pass securely to a client's digital wallet and their point-of-sale terminal. Oh, and soon we'll be using similar authentication technology to secure ways to digitally confirm their identity. Cool, right? She works at Interact. She means debit. That's literally what I said.
At Interact, we geek out so you don't have to. In life, Interact.
People pulling on my Okay, whoa. We been on the road. You know we been down for too long. We came home, it's been a beat on my door. People pulling on my
Hello, Canada. Hockey. Love it. Now I got something you're gonna love. The FCD Go Tank printer. No more expensive cartridges and spec sheets. The FCD Go Tank. Just fill and chill.
Pepsi Zero Sugar. The best tasting zero sugar cola. Taste the difference.
I'm going this way, and I don't give any of you permission to be here.
Johnny, I've been expecting you. What day to?
We're a self-sufficient community prepping for the end of the world. You're serious?
Day prepping isn't cheap.
What's your job description again? To make your life easier. You're not doing that right now. Your platform should reflect the life that you want, not the life you have. What do you do for money? I'm a working woman now. Now you're losing. Yeah, Mom.
Colorado obviously watching this one closely. 12-2 record in the playoffs. They have 12 days off. They met with the media earlier today. Darcy Kemper asked about his injury, and then
Feeling good.
Was it something with your head again, like it was with Tampa?
I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it.
I think the evolution of what Nate's done in this playoffs is he hasn't put so much weight on his shoulders to be the top producing guy, that he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. And I think he sacrificed a little bit of his game for what's best for the team. So he's taken on the big checking roles in all of our series, trying to win those matchups, knowing that our depth can possibly win the matchups underneath them.
Eric Bednar on Nathan McKinnon, who has been sensational. David Ember now down at MSG has Jacob Truba.
All right, thanks, Ron. Jacob, is it fair to say that was your team's best period since game 2?
Yeah, we played well. I thought we skated better, our forecheck was better, and that's our game that our best.
You led all shooters with 7 shots last game. We see how tight checking this is. How incumbent is it on you to attack as a 5-man unit in the second period?
Yeah, I think that's what hockey is. I think you got to get a little bit of offense from everyone. Everybody's got to play defense. It's a 5-man game, and that's what we're doing. So let's keep that up.
One last thing, just the attrition mentally, physically. How are you guys feeling right now?
Great. It's exciting. It's a game you want to play in. So I think we're feeling good. Having fun. Everybody's excited.
Best of luck.
Thanks.
Ron.
He just wants to go to that president Bresky. 3 giveaways for Tampa. That's way down from the 50 in the first 2 games at MSG, but it's a scoreless game after 20 minutes.
Come liars and critics, prophesize with your pen. And keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. For the loser now will be later to win, and the times they are a change. Oh, the times they are a change.
Every game starts at 10:99.net.
The doomsday clock might be on time.
I'll try to stay positive. Is that a dinosaur on your shoulder?
That was a stray storm.
Only in theaters.
See this? The new Mito app. It lets you set tasks and make his allowance for doing them. See that? Famous to rooms ever been. Mom, look.
Use it cash. They earn money. Milo, helping kids learn and smart. It's time to honor Indigenous excellence with the 2022 Inspire Awards, celebrating 12 outstanding First Nations, Métis, and Inuit individuals. The 2022 Inspire Awards, Sunday, June 19th at 8 on CBC and CBC Jet.
All right, everybody, we're getting close here to second period action. There is not much to talk about. I don't know what that is there. There is not much to talk about as far as action. So it can pretty much be summed up in this one little paragraph I have here. Nikita Kucherov and Nick Paul both hit the post. There was a 3-save sequence for Vasi on Trouba, Panarin, and Hedl. New York looked a little bit more comfortable at home, as you would expect. We found out that the lines were intact with Strome and Hedl on the second and third line, respectively. Tampa probably had a couple better chances there because of those posts. Again, don't count as shots. First period shots were 8-3 on goal in favor of the Rangers, and hits were 16 apiece as we are scoreless. So this is a huge pivotal game in Game 5 here, as long as you're going to get this swing game. Somebody's going up 3-2. Nobody's getting eliminated tonight. As soon as that could happen, that'd be Sunday about 8:15 Eastern. Saturday 8:15 Eastern. I should have that call for you. Game 7 may be a little up in the air for me on Monday, but as far as the Stanley Cup Finals, I should be here for every single game, regardless of anybody on YouTube or Colorcast or whatnot. So, again, it's always play-by-play and game story and everything else for me. So, it's worked for me anyway. So, second period, probably another minute.
Awards, Sunday, June 19th on CBC and CBC Jet.
Players are starting to get back on the ice, and fans have not yet made it to the seats here yet. As the second period is starting to get underway.
Talk about the center position too. And Filipino just playing over 7 minutes in game number 4. Ryan Stroke was a big question mark. Went up for the warm-up in game number 4. Here's a couple blocks by Barkley Goodrow again at center. We know he's playing injured. He's done it twice. Missed 11 games, came right back. Guess what he does? Let's stick that left foot up there and block a bomb by Victor Hedman. That is just tough. Hockey players right there doing what they have to do. A little shot blocker for Goodrow, who's been pushed over to the wing. With Kevin already injected into the lineup as an excellent job at the center position. And right back up there to start this second period is Barkley Goodrow.
So Barkley Goodrow will be out there in the second line with Panarin and Kopp, I would imagine, to start each of their showing. So back into the second period action as we're officially back underway here. 8 shots to 3 in favor of the Rangers. We are scoreless as we're just entering the second period. Barkley Goodrow ran into his own man there, Heedle. He got sandwiched there a little bit as this was picked up now by Belmar. So fourth line started out there for John Cooper on both of the start of the periods. Picked up now by Victor Hedman. Try to get this across as Ruda. Try to dive across that blue line. Just be able to get this a little bit away. Vasilevsky's pass pinballs across the red line. It's picked up there by Patrick Maroon. And now this goes to the goal stick of Igor Shesterkin. Glad you can join me here from MSG of Game 5. I got the Sportsnet feed. Any comments, questions, concerns, you let me know. Adam Fox lost it, picked up, and Ryan McDonough tried to outlet this all the way down. Good pickup there for Nick Paul. Tried to play this one out front. That was Hagel to Cirelli, and that just went wide. Fox takes a big hit. Nice setup here for the Rangers, but it's 2-on-4. They're going to have to try to get something on net, and it went just wide of the red line toward the right dot because Zibanejad tried to find it. Kreider, Fox, and now this goes back to Anthony Cirelli. Cirelli turns it over. Good active stick check there by Mika Zibanejad. Now the Rangers might be able to do something. Toronto tries to leave this across the right side red line. Zibanejad is the only forechecker out there right now for the Rangers, as this is in the red, and picked up now by the Lightning. Vasilevsky helps Chernak get this thing, and he leaves it for his defensive partner, Ryan McDonough. He's going to flutter this one off the glass and toward the red line now to try to get something started. And all the other Lightning players, Nick Paul, Cirelli, they're all by the change, so might as well just take one. So Lindgren has it now, and they left it for Panarin. Kopp tried to center this one out in front of a backhand, and this is picked up by Andre Palat. He's had some critical goals in this series. Off the rush, first save, Shesterkin with a glove hand, and then the rebound kind of just fell back to Shesterkin. A little bit fortunate there for Igor, but he made the save nonetheless. So I was just going to say, anytime that Andre Palat seems to be able to join the rush, and between Game 4 and Game 5 now, Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, he's looked really, really good, and he's looked really, really dangerous. So you talk about Stamkos, Kucherov, Hedman, some of those other players. I think you got to throw Andre Palat in that situation in the way that he's been playing, let alone any of these Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm not even just talking about the newcomers and Brandon Hagel and things like that. You're going through this whole run together. Yes, you're going to lose part of your third line, but Julien Brisebois, the GM for the Tampa Bay Lightning, has done a really good job bringing that all up. And now Barkley Goodrow is on the other side for the New York Rangers. So, again, it's interesting how that always ends up happening, playing against your former team. So this is fluttered down the ice. So this is going to be icing against the Rangers here. It's going to be another opportunity for the Lightning to try to do something with it as Gerard Gallant looks on. And again, when I see Gerard Gallant, it says lost consecutive games for the third time in this club, has not lost 3 straight games Rangers. When I see Gerard Gallant, I always think about that short time in Vegas. I think about so much of a better situation that he is right now than what he once was. And that's just a few years ago when they made the Stanley Cup Finals against the Caps. And then now you're back here with the Rangers who win the ping pong balls and get Alexei Lafreniere. Heedle tried to play this one to Capo, and it went just wide. Kept inside, though, by Alexei Lafreniere, and then they had to pull back out to Adam Fox. Lafreniere going to get this one across Heedle. It was a blocker save there by Vasilevsky. He stirred that one aside toward the left faceoff dot. Good hit there on the other side by the Rangers, trying to draw the puck loose, but this finds Mikhail Sergachev. Need some help to get this out, though. Steven Stamkos, 1-on-2. Nice pass to Palat. Palat! He tried to go backhand forehand. I think that's going to be hooked against the Rangers. They wanted to go ahead and stop this play. I think it would be Ryan Strome that took the penalty, but it definitely hooked on Andre Palat as he was busting in. He was trying to go into the slot and go backhand forehand, and the Rangers just cut it off. So first power play of the game. And it's been a while since I could say anything like that. 16:55 left to go in the second period. It's the first power play of the game. And this one is going to go against Schneider, the third line defense, officially there. So hooking Andre Palat. So the call was hooking. I just wasn't sure who it was. It's on Braden Schneider, third line defense. So Nick Paul is going to take the draw. He wins it. So Mikhail Sergachev has it now. Shoots it in the high slot. Big rebound. Maroon trying to be all over it. It's Shesterkin stacked the pads and kept it out. So Goudreau gets this one out. So Shesterkin dodges a bullet there. That was a good face-off win there for Nick Paul. So whether it's forward or center or anywhere else around the Nick Paul's pretty good in all the spots. So that was a really good pickup from the Ottawa Senators, I always thought. He doesn't make a lot of money either. Either with Brandon Hagel. So Perry tried to center this one out toward the blue line side, and this goes back to Bogosian and Sergachev. Sergachev going to take his time. Again, Tampa on the power play. It's the first one of the game. 75% for the Rangers in the last few games in this series on the kill. That's got to be better. Tampa's not been able to do much so far after that initial shot on Shesterkin. It's down to a minute, and they're still just trying to get organized here. So taking their sweet time as this goes across the red line. Let's go Rangers, champ. Rangers let him in, though. Stamkos in the high slot for Kucherov toward the right dot, and it gets stopped there by Shesterkin with the stick and put all the way down the ice. So Victor Hedman has it now, 37.5% in the last 3 games on the power play. Hedman overstated it, but it's kept it across the blue line nicely by the Lightning, but then it just finds a way out. Stamkos will collect. Get this across to Hedman. Hedman sends it for Stamkos off the backhand, holding toward the right dot. Centered it out the kick plate. Hedman's got it in the high slot. Lets it go through the screen. Shesterkin with a save, with a second save off the rebound. And now this is in the right dot. Picked up now by Tampa as they try to settle this down. Kucherov will backhand this one around the kick plate. Stamkos is waiting to the low side blue line, and he didn't expect that pass, clearly, as this goes back to Vasilevsky calmly off the kick plate to Victor Hedman, and that's going to end the Tampa Bay power play. They had some shots, nothing though. Cirelli holding off the backhand, leaves it for Hedman. Big save and another huge rebound by Shesterkin, but it went to the blue shirts. Chernak gets that turnover, and he puts it deeper in the zone. And we got 14:30 left to go in the second period. Again, I got the CDC feed as the Igor chants are happening right now in Game 5 at MSG. Scoreless. Vasilevsky will play this one here for Chernak. And still trying to get this out on the kick plate side is it was turned over by Palat, picked up now by Lindgren. McDonough is trying to get to it, as it was Hedel also trying to break this one up. McDonough can't find it. Blue shirts have it, but it goes up and on a play. So it should be a neutral zone draw. With 14:07 left to go in the second period. Shots are now pulled to even. 9-9. So Tampa's had better of the chances there, and that's what a power play is going to do, and that's what multiple rebounds are going to do. They're going to give you some more shots there. So Shesterkin's been busy. He's made the saves to his credit, but the rebound control in the second period, I don't believe has been as sharp, at least not to my eyes. And that's what they say with Shesterkin. He can make some ridiculously good saves, but he also can give up some rebounds like we put in the net if you're not careful. So in across the blue line now, Rangers pick this one back up. Goudreau overstates it. Kopp trying to find it as well. This is stuck in between Cirelli. He spun around 4 times before he could even find that one. Killorn using the body gets bumped off there by Capo Caco. And now this is Berkeley Goudreau. Off the backhand skate, Schneider just came out of the box. Kopp is going to wrap this one around the kick plate. Schneider couldn't get to it. Sergachev cut him off. Sergachev still with this thing. Tries to bat it out of midair. Cirelli trying to find it for Tampa. Killorn as well. Good work there by Alexei Lafreniere, just to be able to buy some time as much as possible. Victor Hedman has it toward the right side dot. As this goes back to Mikhail Sergachev. Goudreau's all over him, and so is Hedel. They're going to join in with a Tony Panarin on the backhand side of it. So it's been some good defensive pressure here, but no goals of yet. 13 minutes left to go in the second period of MSG of Game 5. Low line turnover by Adam Fox as Nick Paul was doing a good job harassing him. And here's a chance. Set up off the backhand. It was Kreider to Zibanejad off the 1-tee, and it didn't even hit Vasilevsky. Might have maybe grazed the goal stick. Another slap shot there for Fox. And Vasilevsky tries to play this one before the whistle is blown, but they're not going to allow that one. 12:41 left to go in this second scoreless period. It was Kreider to Zibanejad, and Vasilevsky did just get a piece of that with the stick. Come right back. We're going to call more action in a moment.
We're a committed team, helping you get to what matters most. Your family, your livelihood, and your next adventure. Getting you there.
So I know I said this a couple of times here, but when we're looking through some of these things here for Tampa and New York, in this scoreless game right now, you're trying to find little edges between these two teams, I would imagine. And Tampa's had some good chances at the end of it for the second period. Again, the power play is going to do that. But I've noticed Shesterkin's given up a few more rebounds than I'm sure he particularly cared for. Again, it doesn't matter as long as you save the puck. Look, I get that point. But New York on the other side might have just had something with Kreider and Zibanejad. But it seems, just like it was in Game 3, Game 4, now going into Game 5, I know it's 2-2, so nobody's going to get eliminated here today, but the Lightning just seem to be able to have a little bit of that momentum. The one good thing for the Rangers, I would say this, is between Strome and Hedel, they're back on the second and third line, so that means that Gerard Gallant's team, and again, day to day as much as you can be, because everybody's banged up in the playoffs, but the lines are intact, and the Rangers at times seem to be playing more comfortable at home as they've been. But I can't help but wonder, especially with a couple of those posts that were hit in that first period in between Nick Paul and Nikita Kucherov, if the Lightning aren't just getting really close to knocking on the door there and getting one. And this right now, this feels like a game that is a one-goal game. Again, it's very early, 12:41 left to go in the second. Maybe some offensive special teams, some power plays, penalty kills might change some of that. But this feels like a much more subdued one. Oh, man. So that picture of Jimmy Fallon on the other side drinking a beer and eating a hot dog, and he just dumped it all in, and he's going to just try to down it all? Come on, man. He just soaked his shirt, or that sweater, or whatever the hell he's got on there. That's not a good look there for Jimmy Fallon. John McEnroe is also there as well. They're showing him at MSG. So it is a offensive zone draw here. Mika Zibanejad and Nick Paul. Nick Paul wins another one, so he's been really good. I think John Cooper has noticed something that he likes there with Nick Paul, been able to, again, use him as a forward or a centerman. He's done a good job. He's been 2 for 2 so far in the dot. So we're going to get dumped in across the red line by the blue shirts. Picked up now by Alex Killorn. And behind Gretzky's office are the Rangers. Kreider centered on the high slot. Zibanejad let it go. And now Tampa might have a breakout. Killorn tried to get there, but Shesterkin met him as he was trying to go all the way down the ice. And now here's Kreider. And are we getting a call is the question. I believe we are getting a power play here, but I did not see what the infraction was. I'm guessing now that I see John Cooper's face, it's going to go against Tampa Bay, and he's not too thrilled with that one. Hey, man, I appreciate that, dude, very, very much so. Again, as we go along, I'll be able to make this coverage a little bit better, try to get some score overlays and things like that once I figure out how the hell to do all that stuff. It's probably going to be next season, but I'm going to cover all the Stanley Cup final stuff, too, if that's something you're looking forward to. I very much appreciate your comment. So too many men is the call. Bench Minor against the Lightning. So it is the first power play for the Rangers. So one power play for the Lightning had not scored yet. Now we'll see if the blue shirts can find a way. Zibanejad plays this one to McDonough to the face-off loss. So power play is first in the playoffs. Again, that's all 16 teams. 32% for the Rangers, 83% penalty kill for Tampa. So Both numbers pretty good across. Panarin plays it from Zibanejad. It goes off the goal stick of Vasilevsky as this sitting in toward the left side dot. Try to get picked up now by Mika. Finds Artemi Panarin. Breadman tries to get this one across, but the stick is broken. And again, we may have a breakout here. Paul can stay on side. Cirelli up the backhand, power move. Stopped there by Shesterkin. And it was a good job by the Rangers to not let Nick Paul get out in front because of the broken stick there. You never know what's going to happen, especially on defense. You feel like your life is going to flash before your eyes. So McDonough tries to play this one out in front of Paul, but Vasilevsky is going to have to come out of the goal crease to play this one. This is Sergachev. He turned it over, though. Now Panarin, a chance for Fox, and it goes wide to the big cat. This is in behind the cage, and now up and on a play as we get a stoppage with 11:07 left to go in the second period. Again, the Rangers power play, it is their first of the game. Still 56 seconds left to go on it. And that was Fox that had a stick broken, and then he got the edge, did Anthony Cirelli, but he was cut off there by Shesterkin. And Panarin on the other side set up the 1-T from the defense to Lindgren, and that was stopped by the big cat. So another zone draw here for the Rangers. Bellemare lost it. Rangers could not keep it in the zone, so they have to sit up here. They're 4 for 13 on the power play in this series, about 31%. So Lindgren plays this one across. Kreider lost it. This is a chance now to still get in on the forecheck here for Chris Kreider, but Tampa is just going to take no chances and put this one down the ice to where Shesterkin will meet it. So Jacob Trouba, usually up in the second power play line, that's what you got right now with Strome. He sends this one across the kick plate. Try to pick it up now is Kreider. Kreider plays it across. Hedl. Chance for Trouba now. Lets it go in through the screen. Trouba has it in the high slot. And Lindgren's still going to hold. Played in behind the office. Hedl. Lindgren. Trouba lets it go. Stopped by Vasilevsky. It's still toward the left faceoff dot. Another Trouba bomb about 93 miles an hour. And just one shot. That was just the Trouba shot just there. Picked up now across the red line. Chance for Strome. He got fought off the puck there. Picked up now by Corey Perry. Victor Hedman has it. Nice rattle across the red line there as he kept some space there for Stamkos. Perry's in there off the forecheck. Centered it off front, Kucherov! And he just missed the net. They tried to play it over the net of Shesterkin, and that went just wide. Sergachev off the back skate with Bogosian now on the second line defense. Picked up now by the blue shirt. Scores from an impossible angle. Ryan Lindgren makes it 1-0 Blue Shirts. My goodness, I have no idea how that one went in. He was stuck in toward the right side blue line. He just let it go into the screen. And when I get a chance on the Sportsnet feed to relay it to you, I can't really believe my eyes how the puck went in. It was turned over, I believe, by Bogosian. So it was turned over by Bogosian. It rattled around the kick plate. And Ryan Lindgren toward the right faceoff dot, all the way against the boards. Lets that one go, and it's a seeing eye single all the way through the top right of the net. It's just simply a perfect shot from an impossible angle, and the Rangers have a 1-0 lead. So you know what they say, sometimes you just got to fire that puck on net. And the Rangers draw first blood, 7-4 in the playoffs when scoring the first goal. A chance on the other side for the Lightning loose out in front. And Shesterkin made the save on Colton. This was Sergachev, another stop there by Shesterkin. And now we'll see how Tampa responds. A couple quick shots there, but we'll see how that responds after going down a goal. 9 minutes left to go in the second. Outlet pass. Got the zone. Corey Perry gets cut off there by Keandre Miller. And he might be going to the sin bin for hooking. So Keandre Miller is going to the box. Tampa Bay is going to go to the power play here. You know what, Johnny? I don't even know how he made that one. To be honest with you, it was rattled around the kick plate. It was a turnover by Bogosian. He stuck toward the right side boards. He figured, what the hell? I'm just going to let this shot fly. And it went right in the net. So when we come back, I believe we're going to do a break here on the Sportsnet side. When we come back, Tampa's going to be on a power play. Have that for you in a moment. Hey man, I appreciate you listening very much. Again, whether it's 1 or 100, I'm happy just to have anybody in the comment section. What has been your favorite moments of the playoffs so far? Are you rooting for either one of these teams in particular? How do you see them playing against the Colorado Avalanche? I think that's my latter question there is if you want to throw that in the comments section, I'll read that. Do you think the Lightning or the Rangers have a good shot to knock off Colorado? Because again, for as good as the offense and defense is for the Avs, I don't think anybody's going to deny that one. But the goaltending on the side of either Shesterkin or Vasilevsky, that's where the money's going to be. I don't see a situation where, again, Colorado, as we talk about with the 16 teams, they could certainly lift the cup. Everybody said at the beginning they've been the favorite in Vegas in the last 2 years, but you're not going to have a 6-5 game when you have Vasilevsky and Shesterkin on the other side of it. So we're in a little bit of a commercial break right now. When we do come back, it's going to be Tampa power play, their second of the game. Back into the official action right now as Hedman plays this across the kick plate. Andre Palat's going to hold this one toward the left dot. Centered in behind the net to Cirelli. Hedman, Kucherov has it now. Kucherov in the high slot, still waiting, being very patient. Centered it out in front for Palat, and he keeps this here for Stamkos. He's riding that blue one with Victor Hedman. Hedman, Kucherov on the right dot. He's doing a series of stick handles and back skating, still holding on to it. Hedman lets it go to the screen. It bounces out in front. Big save by Shesterkin. And it's going to be cleared by the blue shirts here, maybe even skated. They might have something here with Keandre Miller, shorthanded. And this goes just wide of the kick plate. Picked up by Barclay Goodrow. Got the stick knocked out of his hand. Palat from Kucherov. Palat's going to enter the zone of the power play. Kucherov across. Set up for Hedman. Good defense there by the Rangers, but it's not out. Hedman with a blast. Bounces off the kick plate to Palat. Hedman again. And stopped by the goal stick of Shesterkin. Palat's going to pick this one up near the left dot, but where is it? Rangers trying to get this out of the zone right now. They do manage to get that blue line, and they hold as this goes back to the big cat. Now Kucherov has it with 35 seconds left to go on the power play. Nice entry between three Rangers. Nick Paul sitting out front for Kucherov. Another big rebound given up by Shesterkin, but nothing but blue shirts there to be able to clear that one away. Again, the rebound control, you can say it as much as you like. Yes, he's stopping the puck there, but you can't help but feel like Tampa's going to capitalize on one of these sooner or later. Nice pass across. Nick Paul tries to enter the zone off the chip and chase. Tampa's going to have to try to set up here, but they're running out of time on the power play, their second one. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Picked up by Mikhail Sergachev, holding that L2 off the back skate. Tries to get back there to Killorn. Now to Pat Maroon. Maroon getting punished toward that red line. Killorn has it in behind Gretzky's office. Now working to the right dot. Chance for Pat Maroon, and now back to Killorn. Lets it go through the screen. And this goes up toward the left dot. This is still with Sergachev. Another shot goes right in front of Shesterkin's goal stick. And he's going to move this one back out toward the right side boards as this goes back down the ice. And Tampa can get reset here with Jan Ruda. Ruda, Pat Maroon, good move there for Palat to get the backhand side. He's been very noticeable here for John Cooper's squad. Picked up now by the Rangers. See what they can do. If they can go put their foot on the gas or just protect the one goal lead. We still got lots of time left in the second. 6 minutes to go. Belmar trying to find this toward the left dot. He's being worked over there by Strome. And now Lindgren plays this across to Keandre Miller as this is played Trouba flips this up ahead. Artemi Panarin turns it over. 2 Lightning players, the 3 Rangers players back, but the red line is under siege in between these 2 teams right now, and the puck possession can't be corralled by the Lightning. Breadman gets checked there. Artemi Panarin gets worked over there by McDonough, and it takes a little bit of a face wash there as Tampa gets this one down the ice. And it's going to be icing against Tampa. That's a surprise there. 5:25 left to go in the second period. John, I'm here with you from MSG. This is game 5. It's tied at 2, and we'll see which one of these teams can win a pivotal swing game. Again, the New York Rangers, they play better at home, and they play better at home throughout the playoffs. They really needed to get this first goal, and they did. Because you can't help but feel like no matter where the series is, and again, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here, but no matter where the series is, you keep that might have been another outside post for Nash, that you keep the pressure on Tampa until they are dead. They're going for back-to-back-to-back here. And, all credits with them until you actually beat them 4 times. And New York has to be able to continue to do what they're doing here. Although, again, I would say the rebound control of Shesterkin has been a little suspect, especially in this second period. And I can't help but wonder if things will change as we get into the third or a little later in the second. We got 5:18 left to go in this second period. Again, Ryan Lindgren scored unassisted at the 10:29 mark from an impossible angle near the right faceoff dot. It was just a perfect shot that went high above and beat Vasilevsky and went through about 4 or 5 different bodies in between the Rangers and the Lightning players. So Pierre-Edouard Bellemare and Filipino and on the draw. And we'll see if the Zebras can draw up this one correctly, and they do. And this goes to the Lightning. Lightning, again, they've just been scored upon. We'll see how they respond here. They got plenty of time left to do it in a second. This goes down the ice to Ryan McDonough. Remember, Ryan McDonough was also on the Rangers, just like Barclay Goodrow was on Tampa when they lost their whole third line going into this year. And they added Brandon Hagel and Nick Paul. Picked up now by McDonough. Palat pass went a little too hard there. Shesterkin plays this in behind the goal crease. A little bit of miscommunication there in behind Shesterkin's net. 12-5 shots on this period. Shots on goal, I should say. And 26 shot attempts in totality in favor of Tampa. But New York has the 1-0 edge. And this is going to be another icing. This one is going to go against the New York Rangers. So Filipino, he is back. Ryan Strome, he is back. And sometimes as soon as you get back on the ice in their day-to-day, you got to pay the price. And that's what happens with a couple of stick checks and some trips. 4:32 left to go in the second stanza. Be right back. So my buddy, when I appreciate your comment, Johnny. My buddy, when he does some of these games on the Colorcast side. I know I'm talking to you on the YouTube side. Colorcast is just the radio feed on iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you can download the app and listen to a clear audio there rather than my garbage mic. I got to go get a Yeti mic in there so it sounds a little bit better. So he is a Calgary Flames guy. I know he's living in Seattle now, but I think he used to live in that area. So we called a few of those games. And I have a friend of mine that is a big Dallas Stars guy. He's a Dallas Mavs, Dallas Stars guy. So when he was giving me all the Calgary stats, I kind of balanced with some of that stuff with Dallas stats. And regardless, again, I know that series went 7 games, but you have to think about it with Jake Ottinger. And you're like, damn, all right. Dallas has found their goaltender, just like Dallas has found their star player and Luka Doncic on the basketball side of things. You have Jason Robertson, you have Miro Heiskanen, you have Jake Ottinger. You really do have some pieces. Look, I know there's a situation where you're thinking about Tyler Seguin and Jimmy Benn, right? They're getting a little bit long in the tooth. And Jim Nill, he was the former Red Wings assistant GM when that was Ken Holland and all that stuff. Now Steve Eisenman's here, but Jim Nill is the GM of the Dallas Stars. You know, he signed those guys to some long deals with Jimmy Benn and Tyler Seguin. So they got to figure that one out. But at least you got Robertson. You got Heiskanen and Suitors worked out. He's going to work up for 3 more years. And Jake Ottinger is fantastic in goal. But I love hockey too, man. I appreciate you following along. We're back into the action now as the center ice draw is won there by the Lightning. About 4:25 left to go in this second period. Nika Zibanejad spinning now toward the right dot. He's going to leave it here for Kreider. I think he slipped a little bit there. He get knocked down. Zibanejad trying to play one out in front. He's going to leave it there for Lindgren. It bounced off of Palat and went up and on a play as everybody's taking a spill right now. Between Fox and Trouba and Lindgren, everybody's just hitting the ice. Kreider now talking to the referees just to make sure there wasn't a penalty call, a tripping, or anything else like that. Once the puck bounced off of Palat, there was a little bit of bodies just sitting before, a little bit of drowning pool all over the ice. So 15-13 is the shot board. Ryan Lindgren has the lone goal right now as we're sitting in the second period action. 4:07 left to go in the second. I'll be back between 8:10 Eastern on Saturday here for Game 6. No matter which way it goes, Game 7 might be a little bit up in the air here for me on Monday. I'm going to try my best to be able to cover that. But as far as the Stanley Cup Finals, we're going to be doing this every single game, I would imagine. Cirelli plays this one across. It gets bounced up in the air back toward the left face-off dot as the shot didn't find Shesterkin. Alex Killorn gets it now. This is a chance for Hagel. Hagel puts it back to McDonough. And that shot went just wide. Picked up now by Killorn. Killorn lost it there momentarily. McDonough got his stick lifted. This could be something here for Kopp, but he just couldn't get there in time. Rangers are open, though. Panarin's going to let one go near the right dot. He gets stopped there by the stick of Andrei Vasilevsky. And now there's a battle for the puck. It's loose out in front as it finds Hagel, the former Chicago Blackhawk. He's on a cap-friendly deal. Cirelli with a 2-on-1. He's going to let the wrist shot go. He was in for the right side bar, and it went just high. He could have passed it there to Killorn, but he chose not to. And this goes down the red line. Picked and chipped and chased now in behind the cage of Vasilevsky. Hagel trying to get this set up at an egregious turnover. Big save there by Vasilevsky. He's going to take no chances. Hold on to this one with the glove. 2:55 left to go in the second period. Again, I am looking at the Sportsnet feed. If anyone else sees anything on ESPN or they want to relay some stuff over to me, maybe that I missed or some other stats, I also appreciate that as well. I'm doing this for the Amazon Fire Stick on this side. ESPN doesn't really freeze. ESPN freezes, Sportsnet really doesn't freeze. So anytime CBC has it, and Hockey Night in Canada stuff has it, I take that side of it. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw here for the Rangers. Paul still going to be waiting in. One of the Ranger players, Barclay Goodrow, now has to go in. They got kicked out. Picked up now by Schneider. To Braun. Braun lets it go through the screen. Picked up now by Hedman. Hedman plays this one ahead. Ross Colton with a series of moves. Goodrow is back to pick this one up as this bounces to Victor Hedman. Sergachev gets this across the red line. Rangers trying to just get this one out. Tampa. Sergachev keeps it alive in the high side blue line. Let's go to the screen. Scores! Tampa. Mikhail Sergachev through the screen of humanity. And it's 1-1. 2:26 left to go in the second period. Both teams now officially on the board. His first goal in the last 23 games, Mikhail Sergachev, and the pair of defensemen with the first two goals of the game for their respective teams. As it's 1-1 with a little over 2 minutes left to go in the second period. So Lindgren and Sergachev, and it's a simple shot in through the screen. Sergachev kept it alive, worked his way into the high slot. Shesterkin never saw it. Corey Perry just had a really good look at it in front of the net, and that's in. So 1-1 now. Shesterkin will play to the defensive partner in Lindgren. Try to bounce this one off the kick plate, goes across the red line. Nika Zibanejad has it. Trying to work their way through the blue line now is the Rangers, but it's just stuck there before they can cross. Fox plays this one. Lindgren, it's turned over. Cirelli gets this ahead as Killorn will chip and chase this one. He's kind of stuck up and entangled there with Fox as this goes back to Lindgren. He's going to wait patiently behind the goal cage of Igor Shesterkin. Lindgren didn't cross the red line. He leaves it there as it goes back to the big cat, and he's going to get started there. Plays this one out for Sergachev. Kucherov, it's a 1-on-2. Series of moves, tries to play a blind pass back to Victor Hedman. It's turned over there and corralled by the blue shirts. Stamkos gets a stick on him as this goes down the ice, and now this is by the red line. Alexei Lafreniere goes all the way back. Good 200-foot game by Lafreniere as this goes down the red line now. Picked up now by Jan Ruda. Ruda's out there with Hedman. It was played arbitrarily out in front. Keandre Miller into the screen, and this goes back toward the right dot as it's cascaded around the inboards. Good forechecking there by Alexei Lafreniere. Trouba, it bounces right to Vasilevsky. He's just going to hold on to it and scoop it up like a thing of ice cream. 50 seconds left to go in the second period of action. It is now 1-1. We definitely have a game now, Johnny, no doubt about it. And it doesn't matter where you go between whether it's defense, you get you keep the puck in there, you get a good screen out in front by Corey Perry. Sergachev lets it go to the screen. Seen a couple unconventional goals, probably more unconventional on the Lindgren side, but yes, you definitely got a game now between two really, really good Eastern Conference Finals teams, between the Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is Game 5 at MSG. It's Sergachev's first of the playoffs, his first in 25 playoff games. Unassisted goals on both sides by two defensemen. Artemi Panarin in full flight, series of toe drags, leaves it there across for Kreider, goes in behind the red line, now in behind the cage of Vasilevsky. Down to 20 seconds, Panarin tried to find this thing and play it out in front. It was Ross Colton being worked over there by Panarin. Good active stick check there by Artemi as this is played around Kopp. Cirelli trying to find this off, but he can't. It goes to the blue shirts. Mika Zibanejad plays this across for Kreider. Tried to center one out from the traffic. That's how it's going to end the second period, I should say. Ryan McDonough and Lindgren come together there. Cirelli does as well, just to make sure there isn't any fisticuffs here at the second period. I'm going to stick with you before we go into the intermission. Chernak also joining as well with Lindgren. Strome having some words and exchanging some cross checks there with Ross Colton. It's a little bit of pleasantries everywhere there. So after two periods of play, it is 1-1. 2 goals by 2 consecutive defensemen. Ryan Lindgren at the 10:29 mark for the Rangers, and for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Mikhail Sergachev through the screen at 17:34. When we come back, we're going to call third period action. And again, I will stay here as long as it takes until we get a winner. If we go in extra time, and again, in the link below, hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com, I will have a full play-by-play game story, game coverage, where I cover pretty much a lot of hockey games and anything else locally here from Michigan. So if you ever see that blog, give it a follow. Always right on there daily. Talk to you in a little bit.
A can of Pink or a can of Genius. Premiere. Snaps open and closed. With an airtight seal that keeps things fresh. No risk, no regrets. Premiere. Paint without the pain. Only at Canadian Tire.
With RBC Vantage, unlock powerful benefits with your bank account, like easy budgeting on your new iPad. Unlock powerful banking with RBC Vantage and iPad. Switch to RBC and get an iPad at no cost.
You're looking for an enhanced individual?
The future is in her hands.
I wouldn't want you getting into any trouble.
Marvel Studios Miss Marvel only on Disney Plus.
For the first time, CBC News has special access inside Windsor Castle with rare, never-before-seen footage from our shared history and stories from the Canadian chief net underneath business between and Canada. Now streaming on CBC Jet.
shorty comes on.
You're still a hard six, huh? This guy really struggles in the left side, man. Six. Yeah.
Stories that move you. Since I was the first one as a girl, it's like a very Players on Voice on CBC Listen and wherever you get your podcasts.
June 21st, it's time to crown the NHL's top rookie, best defenseman, most valuable player, plus top goalie and more. Celebrate the NHL Awards June 21st on Sportsnet.
Is there anything more fun than the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Every night before puck drop, the Sportsnet Hockey Insiders get you ready for all the night's playoff action.
Did you see that?
Hockey Central every game. Sportsnet.
Welcome to the second.
It's not too often in my box score here that when I put goals, both of these are actually unassisted, so I don't have to add any other secondary names. Just Ryan Lindgren and Mikhail Sergachev.
Well, in the first intermission, Kelly was saying they had to stop shooting high blocker on Vasilevsky, and the rest of us disagreed. And it's obvious that we were right because they went high blocker, and of course they scored.
But you picked up that it was deflected by Stamkos.
Yeah, I think it hit Stamkos' stick, and also Vasilevsky was screened, right, Cal?
Absolutely.
So they're going to show this on the Sportsnet side right now. Puck is spun around. Lindgren fires it. Stamkos might have involuntary deflected that puck there. Still a hell of a shot there by Ryan Lindgren. Again, I'm looking at it for the third time now. Hopefully they slow this one down. I don't see where it was deflected at all. But that was just a great shot there by Lindgren. On the other side, it was a little bit aided by Corey Perry with the screen out in front. Mikhail Sergachev, excellent job of keeping that puck alive. Puts it on net to Sergachev. It goes and it beats Igor Shesterkin. So both goalies have been beaten once. Shots on goal, 16 apiece. That was an 8-3 advantage for the New York Rangers in the first period. Now it's 16 leveled. And hits are 23-22 in favor of the Bolts.
You have to eat it. What we call eat it or hold the puck and wait for a battle. And Rudy's going to come back and he's going to get this. He's going to have a Tampa Bay guy right in his face. And he's going to
so hits were 16-16 after one. They're 23-22 now. And again, shots were 8-3. Now they're 16-16. So 13 shots on goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning in that second period. And again, I understand that Ryan Lindgren scored, hit the first goal of the game. Now it's 1-1. But you got to like that period there for Tampa Bay as they've, they kind of notice when they can take their foot on the gas and do what they need to do. And it seems like as this game was going along, especially for games 3 and games 4, and now in the 2 periods through game 5, they seem to be able to get their footing as they go through. And it's a hallmark of a championship team trying to go through they've won 10 straight playoff series. 2 more of those, and they'll get a 3rd consecutive cup. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the 3rd period. Maybe we'll get some more conventional goals. I would have to imagine that we're not going to get just fluttering defenseman wrist shots.
I don't think he's in a vulnerable situation. Perry has a breakaway, like a mini breakaway. So anything Miller does, like we don't want offense, don't we want offense? I always want offense, but I think you have to let people try to make creative defensive plays. I don't know. That one just didn't sit well with me. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm actually with you. The only thing is I've just finally let it go. It's been about 5 years now that anything into the hands, and I mean anything, it's going to get called for the most part. So I just sort of, I think it was a great defensive play. Had that been 5 years earlier, that was standard for 100 years in that.
It's like shooting in basketball. Anything that touches the hands, that affects your shot. Like, how's Perry supposed to get a shot off when the guy's got a stick in his hands, whether it's light or not?
Had it not ridden up the stick, up the shot, yes, would have been. That's the one outlier in maybe why I don't say comfortable to you, because he did make it.
It's like I don't think like that's a hook or a slash like we normally interpret them. I'm sure people will agree and disagree. I thought that was a great defensive play, and I thought that should be allowed to happen.
I see what you're saying.
As much as I do miss John Cherry, he definitely should be on there with Ron McLean and Coach's Corner and things like that. But at least they got Elliot Friedman on here on the CBC side. They love their hockey analysis. Because a couple of these stick blades there from the show Keandre Miller when he got that penalty called against him, so that was a clean play for about 100 years. But it's not anymore. And it gets called the penalty.
You're watching the matchup game.
So the Sorelli, so I talked about pregame, I don't know if anyone was listening, but I talked about how Sorelli's line, although they haven't contributed offensive, did a great job against one of the top lines of Benachat and Kreider.
Because when the TNT side, I know ESPN's got the coverage now, but when the TNT side tries to do stuff even for their ammunition, it's just a little bit too. They try to be like inside the NBA, and there really is only one inside the NBA. You can't really replicate that for hockey unless you really have the correct personnel. So that's why I kind of always just stick with the CBC side on this side.
And if you don't like matchups as a coach, I'm cool with that, but the numbers don't lie. And when you're getting severely outplayed, their top guys are getting no offense, you have to help them a bit. You got to get them away from Sorelli's line.
The one caveat there is Panarin's really good, hasn't he? Against Sorelli, so it's kind of given him an opportunity, and he's taken advantage of it. So, Kelly, here's Shesterkin constantly moving the puck with his catching glove.
Yes, it's unique and unusual, and I think at certain times it might scare his defenseman. But let's take a look how he uses that glove hand, and he throws the puck to his players. They're just throwing it back into play, and away Panarin goes. Tonight there's many examples of it. Let's watch this, and he's just going to throw it off to Miller. Miller's a little bit surprised. This is one that the biggest surprise to me because, I think it's Miller, and he was not expecting that one. This was a beautiful play, by the way. Threw it right to the bench, and there's too many men. Great observation by him. I think that's a maybe. I don't know if I can say fully because it happens so quickly, right?
There's a time and a place for that. So if I have to trust the goalie that he's reading the situation. If I want to change or I'm tired, don't give me the puck. Exactly. So I can get a change. And then if there's the one time Maroon was out against the Benachat line and he played and Vasilevsky played the puck, that's the time to smother it.
Okay, for Jared Glenn.
Does anybody feel that this is going to be a long night?
Yes, absolutely. Two great goaltenders for sure. We'll go into a Friday. So what? Prince Edward Island. First, congrats to the Islanders on the Q side. They won at Shawinigan tonight, so they forced the fifth game. Crazy that Shawinigan wins the first three games of that series. My buddy Dave Spearman on the left, who I played beer league hockey with, Billy Spearman, all the Spearmans down in Summerside, Gerard Gallant's hometown, are legendary for the Crystals and the Western Capitals hockey program. They've helped with the Abbeys, they've helped with the University of PEI. So shout out to the Spearmans. Looks like a beautiful day on the island. Our coverage on Hockey Night in Canada.
NHLShop.ca, the official online store of the NHL and Canada's largest selection of authentic NHL fan gear. Shop now and get today's special offer.
I have been captured. You have $48 to rescue me. I think you should save me. Unless they don't, which is a real possibility.
It's the rise of Groove.
People put it all on.
Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. We been on the road. You know we've been down for too long. But can't hold us, and I be the one people blow your mind.
This is not a basketball net. This is not a drill. And this is not a stand mixer. It's how the Harpers turn downtime into together time. And this is not just any loyalty program, it's one made for them. With Triangle Rewards, you get personalized offers every week, so you can get more of what you love. Download the Triangle app today.
This entire country is dedicated to the singular goal of survival.
The new variant is complicating what was to be a return to normal.
Iceland is keen to be seen as a place to extract carbon from the air for decades.
Many people, of course, have been sheltering down here. Thousands of refugees have entered Hungary.
Indigenous delegates heard something they've been hoping for: an apology.
Hey there, I'm Andrew Chang. We will get you back to hockey in just a moment, but first, a look at what we are working on for the National.
We've been very clear with Canadians that they should expect a rising path for interest rates.
Your mortgage payment could go up by 30% in the next 5 years, the head of the Bank of Canada warned today. Even this month, he hinted the key interest rate could jump by another 0.5 percentage point. We find out how squeezed homeowners might go.
A lot of Americans are going to see it for the first time, some of the detail that occurred.
In Washington, a congressional committee holds prime-time hearings showing never-before-seen footage and testimony on the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. During the playoffs, you can always find us on CBC News Network and CBC Gem every hour starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will see you after the game.
Women's World 8 under 18 happening USA Canada and Madison. A great crowd on hand for this game. Linda McCarthy with a shot to Madison Kaiser on the redirect 1-0 USA. Later in the period, Molly Jordan with a one-timer from a distance through a crowd in front. That beats Haley McLeod 2-zip. The Americans so far rolling 3-0. You'll see that game's on the set as we speak. David Amber, as we speak, is with Mikhail Surge.
All right, thanks, Ron. Mikhail, the first goal by Tampa Bay defenseman in the series came at a very good time. What did you see on the play to get that through?
Their D-man ringed the puck, and I got to it first, and just try to pull it to the middle and shoot it. I actually didn't see where I was shooting. I was just trying to get it past the first block, and fortunately I got it.
You didn't see it, Shesterkin didn't see it, so it worked out pretty well. How tight is it out there in this game 5? Because it just seems like it's a very low event game so far.
Yeah, both teams are playing kind of careful. Nobody wants to make a mistake, and I get it. It's a game 5, so crucial game, and that's why I guess.
Best of luck in the third. All right, Ron.
David, as you saw, Jimmy Fallon's at the game tonight. He was there a year ago with the Karate Kid, and tonight he is situated not in the front row, he's in the back row. You see what happened after he smoked the hot dog and swizzled the beer? He dumped it all over John to make fun of him. It's a great night in New York. 1-1 through tonight.
That's the step of our daughter using her Mino card to buy tickets to her favorite band.
Our favorite band. They spend it, you see it. Myo, helping kids learn, earn, and spend smart.
Make sure you're securely fastened.
What's that noise? Don't break my neck.
He's purring. He likes it.
I do Disney Pixar's Lightyear. Only in theaters June 17th.
Enterprise isn't just one of the world's largest transportation providers. We're a committed team, helping you get to what matters most. Your family, your livelihood, and your next adventure. Getting you there begins with our employees, who are motivated to make a difference for you every day. Around the world and around the corner, in neighborhoods like yours. Connecting you to all the places you love. That's Enterprise.
Hello, Pam.
What are you still doing here?
Job's not done yet.
So that takes 16 hours for Steve before it's ready, so he just, call you back.
Yeah, not a chance I let someone put their lips on the beef before this guy. I'm a Stan.
Hey. Good night, Justin.
Love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
I said it first.
Try my French vanilla beef brew for a limited time. Only at 10. It's worth the wait.
Place at home in Ottawa as they battle France in Nations League Volleyball. Saturday at 4 Eastern on CBC and CBC Gem.
Hey fans, your tweet could become etched in history at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Tweet the hashtag Stanley Tweets and tell us what winning a Stanley Cup would mean to you.
The Doomsday Clock, 1992.
Come back. On the verge of extinction. I'll try to stay positive. Is that a dinosaur on your shoulder?
Only in theaters.
Doesn't get better than this. Series tied at 2 and the game tied at 1 as we head towards the third period. The stars are shining here in New York. Saturdays are for Hockey Night in Canada and SNL. Keenan Thompson is in the house, longest serving cast member. And Trey Anastasio, lead singer of Fit, is also taking this in. Everyone's waiting for the Rangers to break out and take a 3-2 series lead. They need these three gentlemen to break out. Kreider's advantage at Panarin. Yes, they've been short a goal in the last 3 games. However, 0 even strength goals amongst this trio. We've shown you what Kucherov, Polak, and Stamkos have been doing. The Rangers now need this big trio to step up and send them within 1 game of this Stanley Cup final. Harder Ryan Singh, Louis the Russ, third period action.
All right, we are back. It's going to be time for the third period. Who's going to go up 3-2? That is the question. We are back within the official start of the third period. It is 1-1 here in Game 5. It is a 2-2 series. We're seeing which one of these teams is going to take a 3-2 stranglehold. Hagel into the screen, and they get stopped there by Shesterkin. Picked up across the blue line. The Bolts have it. Shesterkin will come out of his cage. They'll play this one with Artemi Panarin. Panarin's going to have to back off and play this one to Trouba. That was a stick that was deflected out. And now Ruda will come all the way back to go ahead and go behind the cage of the Big Cat. 19:15 left to go in this third period. Is really just underway in the last stanza. Tied at 1. 17-16 on the shot board. Lindgren knocks it down. This is in across the red line now, and it falls right back to the Bolts. Hedman going to try to get this one set up. It was just a little bit hard off the stick there for Nikita Kucherov. And Toronto finds Lindgren. Lindgren's going to go ahead and put this one across the red line. Go ahead and take that change. Chernak. Toronto has it on the left side. Chernak all over him. The fake pass there for Lindgren to Fox, and the shot pinballs into the left out. Lindgren lets it go to the screen, and it bounces right back. Are they going to do it again is the question. Lindgren puts us in deeper in behind the cage of Vasilevsky. McDonough trying to find it, intercepted there by the blue shirts. Now this is at the left face-off dot. Now in behind the cage of Vasilevsky. Great move out in front by Kreider, and the shot goes wide of Strome with a bid there against Vasilevsky. Goes all the way back down to Shesterkin now, and Adam Fox, the Norris Trophy candidate, is going to go ahead and pick this one up. 17 shots apiece now on both sides. A 1-1 score line here in Game 5 at MSG. Corey Perry is able to intercept this thing across the red line, and it goes up and on a play over the players' bench. We're getting a neutral zone draw with 17:55 left to go in the third period. So a couple passes there for Vetrano that he wasn't able to hold, and then a couple shots there for Lindgren that just went to the side of Vasilevsky. So maybe the Rangers toward this minute and 2 minutes and 5 seconds, I would say they've had a couple good chances here and there. But we'll see if that continues. Now Bogosian going to set this one up in behind the goal cage of Vasilevsky. Try to play it out down the ice and flutter it, but it's going to be an icing. And that's going to go against the Lightning. As Bogosian has iced the puck. 17:39 to go in the second. So Andre Palat, 3 goals, 5 points. Steven Stamkos, 3 goals, 2 assists. And Nikita Kucherov, 3 goals and 3 assists. Points on 10 of 12 Lightning goals between Palat, Stamkos, and Kucherov. So the big boys are really leading the way. They've won 8 of the last 10 games, outscoring opponents 30-19 in that span. Andrew Kopp wins the draw as this goes back to Schneider. So Schneider and Braun, the third line defense, are out there right now. Schneider, goal stick, trying to use that body to hold off that blue line. Chance for Panarin. Now from that, Kopp going to let this one go from a scrum pass, and it gets blocked there by the Lightning. 17-10 left to go in the third period, and it's another icing. And Zach Bogosian, a little bit tired. He cannot get off the ice here. Maybe he got a little bit hurt blocking a shot there from Andrew Kopp upon second inspection here. So it banked off the kick play. Kopp let it go, and it hit him right in the left leg. So there's not a lot of padding and protection there, and that's going to sting a little bit, especially when he can't get off the ice. That's going to sting a little bit too. So another chance for the Rangers off the draw, but it is won there by the Bolts, and then dumped across. But they're able to hold that blue line as the blue shirts here. Trying to get this out between Ruda, and they do, and this goes back to Lindgren. So Lindgren and Panarin, and they're going to play catch. Panarin trying to race out front. He looks like he might have got tripped, but there's no call there. Andre Palat now waiting for the right dot for the Bolts. Try to pick it up for Victor Hedman, all 6'6" of him. This goes back around to Adam Fox. As he tried to spin around, he was able to keep that alive, but he almost turned it over, but he was able to shot dive that thing out of the blue line, just be able to get some space and force Tampa to reset. Shesterkin tried to play a pass on. I think they got intercepted. It did by Palat. Slap shot from McDonough, and it went wide of Igor Shesterkin. As now it's down across the red line. Here's a race for right now. It's won by Jan Ruda. He's got to be a little bit tired off that extended shift, and now Palat can set this one up here for Anthony Cirelli. Cirelli off the half spin, keeps it alive toward the left eye. Kucherov wants the 1-T. Power move in front of the net. Palat had it for a moment. Shesterkin glove saved it, and now Goudreau and Palat come together near Shesterkin's goal crease. 16:05 left to go in the third period. Tied at 1. Shot board says 19-17 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Both goals are courtesy of two defensemen. Ryan Lindgren for the Rangers and Mikhail Sergachev, his first in 26 games for the Tampa Bay Lightning, knotted it up at 1 after 2 periods of play. And that's where we are right now. We're going to see what happens between these two teams. Who's going to take a pivotal swing game and take a 3-2 series advantage. Again, if Tampa wins this one on the road, they get to go back home to Amalie Arena about 8:10 Eastern and try to win the whole series, take on the Colorado Avalanche. So McDonough has gone to the dressing room for the Bolts. That is a big-time leverage situation because, again, you only have 6 defensemen that you can dress in there. So it's going to be some double and triple shifting here at this point. So defensive zone draw. Pat Maroon is able to get some space here for the Bolts. Blue Shirts just trying to get this one out. Corey Perry gets up and is a little bit kept there. Got knocked down from behind. Did Alex Killorn and Belmar. Still with Maroon. He shoots it. It's stopped there before it hits Shesterkin. He's still with it behind the catcher. Just wrap it around Shesterkin. But he made the save and said no. 15:35 left to go in the third. The bucket of salad there flowing from Pat Maroon had a couple of shot block, and then he just said, you know what, I'm going to get it back, and I'm going to go wrap this thing behind the net on Jacob Trouba, see if I can get something happen there against Igor Shesterkin. Good power move there by Pat Maroon, but Igor Shesterkin cut him off and held that right post. 21-17 now is the shot advantage for Tampa. And it's interesting because it started 8-3 New York, and now it's 21-17 Tampa. So it kind of tells you the way that things are moving here. But it's still 1-1 on the score line. Mika Zibanejad trying to win a defensive zone draw. He does. He plays this there to Ryan Lindgren, but they can't get it out of the zone just yet. Glove down on the red line there. Kreider trying to set this one up, looking for a cross pass. It goes wide to the left of Vasilevsky. Mika Zibanejad trying to hold that blue line, and now we got a race for the puck. Kreider trying to use that body, and he does. Comes together there with Adam Fox, but it's turned over. Picked up by Cirelli to Chernak. Now on the other side with a wrist shot there again. It's not McDonough. He's going to the dressing room, so to get a number on that one. I think it's Zach Bogosian. Always sure to look for that beard during this time of play. As this goes back now for Chernak. He's going to spin. He's going to rattle this around the red line. Alex Killorn, Cirelli. Killorn tries to let it go to the screen. Cirelli has it. Now on the left side, trying to leave it there. Placed the Chernak. It's blocked out toward the middle of the slot and then picked up and stolen by Killorn. Sorelli turning on the Jets. Backhand, forehand, power move to the net. And the blue shirts all over this thing as they can get this one down the ice and now across the red line. But here comes Tampa once more. Jan Ruda working his way to the right dot, now in behind the cage. And Fox centered out in front, but the pass didn't get there for Ross Colton. He could have had an open net to shoot at. Picked up now by Hedel. Series of moves with Capocacco, and it's turned over. Tampa trying to race the other way quickly. Mikhail Sergachev with a drop-off pass. Into the high slot, gets it back toward the right dot now. Now into the high slot is Bogosian. Now for Sergachev, lets it go, looking for his second. And that one goes wide. Picked up now by Palat. Sergachev able to keep this one alive here momentarily as this goes to Alexei Lafreniere. And now across the red line. Capo couldn't hold on to it quick enough. 6-2 shots on this period in favor of the Lightning. And that number is steadily climbing as it's 22-18, but it's 1-1 on the score sheet with 13:25 left to go in the third. Tampa in the white and the blue bolt attacking left to right. The New York Rangers in the blue shirts attacking right to left, and the blue shirt and the red pants. Strome off the half spin, holding that L2. Victor Hedman's going to pick this one up right now, leave it for Nikita Kucherov, and Kucherov's pass a little too far as the second line defense out there with Keandre Miller and Jacob Trouba as they play catch, and this goes up the stick. I think it's going to be an icing against the Rangers. 13:03 left to go in the third period. John out here with you from MSG. We're going to see which one of these teams is going to blink first yet again, and it's 1-1 on the scoreline. And that was a shot block. Ryan Lindgren, who else? He was getting cross-checked a few times and then sacrificed that body and those legs. They always call him the cyborg because he's always taking damage and getting back up and getting repaired. And Anthony Cirelli on the Sportsnet with a great power move, backhand, forehand. But Hagel was being tied up by the blue shirts. Couldn't shoot that rebound. Killorn trying to spin around here. Leaves it for the defense. Lets it go as Chernak. It's bounced in through the blue shirts. Chernak gets it toward the right dot now. Trying to hold off that back end of the forehand. Panarin is going to steal this one. See if he turns on the Jets. He crosses the Rangers logo with Andrew Kopp. Kopp tried to center it back out on defense, but it was too far for Fox. He tried to sauce it to him, but it was too close in proximity. Turned over. Anthony Cirelli can get this set up here for Palat. Palat with Nash. Nash against Fox. And it goes up and on a play. 12:25 left to go in the third period. It is 1-1. It is a pair of goals by two defensemen in Ryan Lindgren and Mikhail Sergachev. And it's 1-1. 12:25 left in the third.
With CIBC Aventura, you'll earn over $1,200 in value when you join, including your first annual fee on us. For all your future travel ambitions, CIBC Aventura. Apply now.
Hey babe, you need a nap.
Who needs napkins when you've got pants? Playoff pants are back.
It's good to play. So take a time out now. It's easy to do. Just log in and set your timeout length. Simple. You can even customize it. Say Monday morning until Friday night. Or those times you wouldn't want to miss. However you decide to play safe at Bet365.
I've seen it in my dreams. And we'll die.
We're at New River Beach, New Brunswick, where 10 of the world's best sand sculpting teams are facing off in an epic beach battle. Uh-oh, Thanksgiving! A Maestro Fresh West. Watch as we race against the time.
On the right, Lou, you guys were mentioning when you're kind of leaving the bench area. Well, here's what we
So Sportsnet is talking about Ryan McDonough. See what happens. He got injured somewhere behind the net here. And I want to take another look at it. He got spun around, maybe wrapped around with a leg injury. But he has not returned. So Tampa's going to be down a D-man. So either double shift in Chernak, Bogosian, Hedman. Sergachev, you take your pick. So upon second look now from the Sportsnet side, Ryan McDonough has left the bench and he has not returned. So you're going to either be double shifting, Sergachev, Hedman, Chernak, Bogosian. You take your pick there because again, you got 6 defensemen. You got 5 of them available in this game. So this is in the defensive zone now, and Chernak going to try to break this one out. Here's a chance for Kucherov. Lets it go through the screen. And it looked like it just fluttered just wide of Igor Shesterkin. Looked a little more dangerous than it should. Cop from Kreider, and he's going to put this one in. Kreider throwing the body there on Sergachev. Bolts trying to get this out and transition in there with Nick Paul. Got hooked up a little bit was Ross Colton. And I don't think he's going to like that because he was holding me, he said. That's why I couldn't get to the puck. He was cross-checking me and holding me. And then you're going to call an icing on that? Yeah, definitely. Ross Colton has a little bit of a beef there as far as being able to get to the puck when you're being held and stick check tie. So 11:48 left to go in the third period. It is Nick Paul and Filipino on the face-off draw. One there by Paul. So Paul's been very excellent in those draws. It's turned over there momentarily, but now this goes back out of the zone. Blue Shirts got to corral this thing across the red line. And once they do, they're going to pinch this one in deep. Eric Chernak against Alexei Lafreniere. Picked up now by Tampa, but once again, it's at the red line here for the Blue Shirts. See if they can get things started with the kid line. Alexei Lafreniere takes a piece. Hedel trying to join in there. He got knocked off the puck. And this got intercepted there by Schneider, but he's going to take no chances. Just flutter this in on the kick plate and see what happens in the next part of the play. 11:05 left to go in the third period as the puck is with the Bolts. It is 1-1. A pair of goals between two different defensemen. Stamkos has it now. Play for Kucherov. Centered out in front there for Palat, but the shot went wide. Kucherov has it in the high slot, holding off the backhand. Kucherov into the screen as it finds a bunch of Rangers jerseys kept across the blue line here. And here's a one-on-one. Victor Hedman wins that race, but it is turned over. But the Bolts are able to go all the way back there with Andre Palat. Victor Hedman with an outlet pass. He finds Sergachev on the tape-to-tape. This goes back to Palat. He tried to center out front to Paul, and Paul got sandwiched, ice cream sandwich in the right side of the boards. And now the Rangers have this one. Trying to work their way across the red line now is Andrew Kopp. Trying to leave it there for Strome. Kopp to Strome as this is in behind the goal cage of Big Cat Vasilevsky. Picked up now by Keandre Miller as he rattles this around the kick plate. Panarin trying to keep it alive. Strome lets it go. Vasilevsky, no traffic in front, saw it all the way near the left dot. It was a fluttering wrist shot. Stopped there by Vasilevsky. Just about the halfway mark of the third period. 10:03 left. We are tied at 1 in Game 5, and we're going to see who's going to take a pivotal swing game and go up 3-2. Again, the next game will be on ESPN and Sportsnet about 8:10 Eastern, and it's going to be at Amalie Arena. So if Tampa can win this one at MSG today, they get to go Saturday for the closeout at home. And if the Rangers win this one, they're going to have to try to close this one on the road. As every time they show that face-off, it's the Terminator eyes by Vasilevsky. I know I bring that up all the time, but that intense pressure and confidence there for Vasilevsky. He has played every single minute of the last 2 years of the playoff run. He's been the only goalie in net. No Brian Elliott in sight. Ross Colton lost it, and now the Rangers can try to break out here with Artemi Panarin. Panarin trying to leave it there for Kreider. Now Fox. Fox from the left face-off dog tried to zoom in there. Short side shot. I think might have hit the left side of the bar. Vasilevsky made the save nonetheless. 9:30 left to go in the second. That was a good opportunity there for the Rangers. Here they come again. Kopp tried to play the one across, and it got blocked out in front as the puck was just sitting there. Even on ice, it was not moving. Palat couldn't find it. Nice setup there. Zibanejad with the crisscross. Kreider trying to turn on the Jets. Vasilevsky's going to play this one. It finds Hedman, but he's in distress. It gets turned over there as the Rangers able to find it. Now here comes Tampa. The captain, Steven Stamkos, but an offside entry there with Kucherov is going to negate that play. 8:58 left to go in the final stanza, but there could be more if we don't break this deadlock. 1-1 with 8:58 left to go in the third period. John on here with you from MSG. This has been an excellent game so far. Maybe a little event, but I like it that way. 8:58 left. We'll get more when we come back.
I don't like beer anymore. Who made beer the go-to anyway? It's going to be now available in a can.
There's something out here. Yeah, no. Hell no.
I really don't understand those Jordan Peele movies.
Make a splash in the world of aquatics, facing their toughest competitors. Go for gold. Diving into the action. Dominating the waves, above and below the surface. Where strength meets grace. The World Aquatics Championships, June 18th to July 3rd on CBC and CBC Gem.
Limits on those chances by the Rangers. A great play by Fox with a solid block, and he goes blocker side, bounces right through the loop, and can't finish it off afterwards. Just balls right there battling with the chops right through both of them. Well, what a play by Adam Fox again, just ice running through his veins and make that play inside the defenseman right down the wheel.
Vasilevsky's got a .924 save percentage in 96 career playoff games right now. And they're going to need all those percentages here. It's 1-1, 8:45 left to go in the third period. The Bolts trying to break out. Nice outlet pass there. Hagel still trying to corral this thing. He's trying to work his way to the forehand and reach for it with Anthony Cirelli. Hagel still being worked over there by Keandre Miller and the Jacob Trouba line. Cirelli finds his way through the traffic. Chance for Sergachev into the screen, and it hits the blue shirts before it even hits Sturkin. Cirelli and Zibanejad come together near the left face-off dot. This is spun around the kick plate and now behind it with Killorn. Paul Vetrano will get this one out. It's a one-on-one foot race, but it's overskated there by Kopp, and he's just going to elect to go put this one in behind the goal cage of Vasilevsky. 8 minutes left to go in the third period, tied at 1. Turnover there. 3-on-2 opportunity, and a quick shot there by Rudy instead of waiting for teammates. And Vasilevsky probably said, "Thank you very much for that," as he made the glove save and held. Now, again, I understand that that happens in the blink of an eye, but you have a one-timer waiting for you there with Lindgren. If you just lay that outlet pass across, maybe create more chaos, you're probably doing Vasilevsky a favor there as you're looking at those Hazel Terminator eyes once again. They love showing that on Sportsnet. So Belmar going to try to win this draw here. Trying to be opposed there by Barclay Goudreau. And he wins it. And this goes in behind the cage of Vasilevsky as Victor Hedman's going to need some help. And Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, former Vegas Golden Knight, will be able to oblige with that. Ross Colton off the lone forecheck. Nice movement there for Colton. They're trying to bother Fox. Gets it across the red line. But here we go with Strome. He lets it go, and it's stopped there by Vasilevsky, low stick side. 7:30 left to go in the third period. The shots are now even at 23 apiece. Again, they started 8-2 in favor of the Rangers. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a look inside of where things are going here. Tampa has had the better of play probably game 3 and 4. And it's kind of split a little bit toward game 5 because New York is a little more comfortable. But they've closed on that shot board. But it is 1-1. That's what's most important. Ruda trying to work in behind. He's being held. They want a penalty call there, but it's not going to happen. I think Ruda was getting a piece of the man there on the New York side, but the arms were up and nothing was called. So Lafreniere kicks it away, to try to get something going, and this goes down the ice, where this finds Shesterkin. He plays it to the open man. That was Lindgren. It goes across the red line now, but Tampa able to intercept, but that was a offside, hybrid offside there. Now Trouba and Miller and some of the Tampa players come together as they didn't like that hit off the offsides. It was 30 hits to 26 in favor of the Blue Shirts right now. And let me give you the official time. So it's 6:40 left to go in the third period. Again, I'm going to stay here as long as need be, and then I'll have the game story. HopefulSportsGuide.wordpress.com with the play-by-play and all that. And I should be back for Game 6 action at Amalie Arena about 8:15 Eastern, the same time between Colorcast and YouTube. So this team stats, it is 24 shots to 23 in favor of the Lightning. Again, 30 to 26 on the hit board in favor of the Rangers. 27-18 on faceoffs in favor of the Bolts. And that's where we are right now with a 1-1 scoreline. So we'll see if the attention to detail increases, because we know that attention is definitely going to increase. I think that's what I meant to say the first time. So Trouba has it now. He's going to leave it for Artemi Panarin instead of passing across to Keandre Miller. So now we have some chance at MSG, but I can't quite make out what they are. Who's Trouba is going to play this one back to Trouba. Strom and Trouba crisscrossed on that one, I should say. Has done a 6:10 left to go in the third period. Nick Paul was all by his lonesome there off the backhand. He got bodied off by Keandre Miller, but he still got it. He played it across the blue line now for Chernak, and Chernak put it into the open side of the red line, but he didn't find anybody. Ross Colton just turned it over. He had nowhere to go. And now Panarin. It's 1-on-3. Panarin needs some reinforcements. Playing a slot pass out in front. Tried to find Kreider, and it went wide off the goal mouth. Oh my goodness, that was a golden opportunity there for the Rangers, and they couldn't make it count. Stamkos and Strome come together, and this goes toward the right side boards. Palat gets it out, and this goes down, and the icing is against the Lightning. I want to take a look at that one again, because Panarin has been guilty of, and I'd say a lot of these ones do work, but it was 1-on-3. Panarin actually got that cross pass over. Kopp tried to play it to Strome. Strome had an open net to shoot at, but it might have been the stick of Zach Bogosian that just stopped the puck getting there to his stick that kept it a 1-1 scoreline. Shot got blocked there by Tampa. One of the players did a somersault pretty much. Zibanejad trying to toe drag his way through. No dice as this goes down the ice to Shesterkin. Picked up now by Kopp. Kopp trying to get this one reset as Panarin finds Kreider. Kreider gets us across the red line. Tampa's got a lot of men back here, and the Rangers don't have anything going on the forecheck yet. It's turned over here for Trouba. Trouba tried to outlet this thing across the red line here to Mika Zibanejad. And now Strome on his horse. In behind the cage, trying to wrap this thing around. Stopped by Vasilevsky. And he made the save. And now Gaudreau and Cirelli. Cirelli's getting punched in the mouth. He's being held. All kinds of chaos here with Chernak and Gaudreau. I think Gaudreau was eating a few fists. He was eating his lunch there for about 4 or 5 different times. 4:45 left to go in this third period. Good back and forth action. And man, that was a pass from Panarin to Kopp to Strome. That could have been an easy one there, but it just got lifted. And you just saw on the Sportsnet side of things, if you're keeping a look along, I appreciate it. Ryan McDonough has returned back into the bench, so we're going to see if he's going to get some playing time when we come back.
Gillette introduces the all-new Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar, a razor designed to give you a quick and easy shave. It combines shaving and gentle exfoliation into one efficient stroke. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades, giving you a shave as quick and easy as washing your face, so you can look like you put in effort effortlessly. Razor handle guaranteed to last 5 years or will replace them. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Make way for the first ever Chevrolet Silverado ZR2. With Multimatic shocks, rugged 33-inch tires, and front and rear electronic locking differentials. Dude, this is awesome. We should get back to work. This good? If you're gonna work remote. Find new workspaces. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Time now for the top performer, brought to you by the GMC Terrain AC4 and Elevation. What can you say about Ryan Lindgren? What a warrior. First of all, he scores the opening goal of the game, the second of the postseason. He's not done there. What he does best, blocks shots, takes a hard shot there.
So they're showing Ryan Lindgren. He's got that goal for the Rangers. Then he's setting up some shots. He's setting up Fox. He's doing a little bit of everything. That's why they call him the cyborg. He's taking some damage, but he gets back up and repairs himself and figures it out. That's what the Rangers need right now. 4:45 left to go here in Game 5, tied at 1. Again, if we don't get a score here within regulation, we're going to be going to overtime. I'm going to be here as long as it takes until we get a goal. Adam Fox with Lindgren going to set this one up now. Lindgren taking his sweet, sweet time here. He's got about 4:25 left to go in the third. Barclay Goudreau get this one set up here from Adam Fox to Lindgren. Lindgren going to spin around. So now the 1-1 forechecker could be a little advantage here for the Rangers if they can get an entry. Fox, cross pass, plays it out in front. Stop by Vasilevsky with the left pad. That rebound just eluded a trailer there. That could have been Kreider right on the doorstep. 4 minutes left to go in the third period. Who's going to win this Game 5 and take a 3-2 series advantage back to Amalie Arena? That's what we're going to find out. Ross Colton lost it as it was played out in front, picked up by Keandre Miller through the screen, and that goes wide. Nick Paul has it now to take up from the Ottawa Senators. Turn it on the Jets. Nick Paul centered it out in front, but his pass got blocked, and this went behind the goal cage of Shesterkin. Shesterkin tried to bounce this one off the kick play. Jan Ruda couldn't hold it. And now Ryan McDonough, who just checked back in, he's missed most of the second period and almost all of his third. He is back on the ice with the repairs, so they're back to 6 defensemen on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Off the boards, and now to the right side of the red line. Igor's better chance are happening right now at MSG, but we'll see how that one goes. 3 minutes left to go in the third period. John out here with you at MSG, Game 5. It's a 2-2 series. It's 1-1 scoreline. We'll see who's going to take this one. Hagel trying to play this out in front of him now, finds Chernak. He's going to rattle this one around the kick plate. It's overplayed. Frank Vetrano holds, trying to keep this one alive. It's turned over there, picked up by Anthony Cirelli. Finds McDonough. Killorn now has it with Hagel. Hagel's trying to help out Killorn in behind the right side of the red line. Still trying to get some skate blades through it. Sergachev trying to be the first two, but this finds Adam Fox. Adam Fox will rattle this around the kick plate. And we're going to have an icing against the Rangers. 2:24 left to go in the third period. So let me give you some official numbers here. So between these team stats, it is 25 shots to 24 in favor of the Blue Shirts, 31 to 26 on hits. New York has that edge, 28-21 on the draw. That is in favor of the Bolts. 1-1 is the score line. Mika Zibanejad between Steven Stamkos and on the draw. Zibanejad still trying to wait his time out. Stamkos wins it clean, but the Blue Shirts able to get away with this thing. Chris Kreider got bodied up there a little bit as the referees let him go. Stamkos with the slapper, and that was blocked by Keandre Miller. Stamkos centered it out in front of Kucherov. Toe drag move. And Kucherov couldn't hold it. Stamkos just had that third eye vision, just thinking he would be there, and that almost worked out. Kucherov now trying to find it in behind the cage. It's turned over. Stamkos, Edmund, Sergachev. Sergachev to the screen, scores! Tampa Bay! 150 left on the score clock. It's 2-1. My goodness, what a goal that was. And I'm just still buzzing over the Stamkos Kucherov feed. But who else but Mikhail Sergachev with his second of the game makes it 2-1 Tampa. And it was just as easy as you like. It was through the screen again. Shesterkin couldn't find it. It was the mirror image of the goal in the second period, except he was a little bit closer into the high slot. But Tampa makes it 2-1 with a minute 50 left. Mikhail Sergachev with his second. My goodness, what a goal and what a sequence there by the Bolts. They want to try to take this one right now and take a 3-2 series lead back to Amalie Arena. New York Rangers have other ideas, but the extra man's going to happen soon. It's turned over. Cirelli has it out in front. Now Fox has it as he can kind of settle some things down. Again, New York, they can't settle down too much. They got to get going. They just got scored on. There's not a lot of time left. 2-1, but they got to get organized down the ice, and they got to be able to get Shesterkin pulled. Picked up across the red line. The fans, I'm sure, at MSG are stunned. Kopp toward an open right wing, pinballed out in front in between the Tampa players. It's still between New York and Tampa, and now it's Alexei Lafreniere. Shesterkin's vacated the goal crease. Keandre Miller tries to play it with the glove hand. It's centered out in front for an open net. And Hagel finishes it off. Tampa takes a 3-1 lead. What an effort there by the back-to-back champs. They tried to take a few counter punches, and they ended up delivering a few haymakers. It's 3-1 Tampa now. So this was one hell of a contest. And toward the final minutes there, when the Rangers had to have everything to get it go pulled, they had Kopp there. It was loose out in front. It was battled pretty close there between Vasilevsky in between the high slot. They just couldn't find it. Tampa did. They played it out in front, and Hagel took no mistake about it. There was nobody in front of him. He could have taken his sweet, sweet time. He did for the most part. He just skated up to the front of the net as close as he could to just rattle that one in. 3-1 Lightning, and all of a sudden, the Rangers got slapped right in the mouth, and they're probably wondering what happened to them. So it's 3-1 Tampa. They look to be taking a 3-2 series lead back to Amalie Arena, back to Florida here. But we still have 45 seconds left to go. Fox trying to leave it there for defensive partner Lindgren. He got sandwiched. Barclay Goodrow plays this one out in front. Fox try to get it to Panarin. Panarin centered out in front to Zibanejad. It's in that same spot in the high slot. Where is it? Tampa emerged with it once again as this goes across the red line. Banked in by Fox and now Barclay Goodrow, but a offside entry for an eternity there. Everybody was offsides. 21.7 left to go on the score clock. 26-25 are the shot totals, but Tampa has just scored twice. 3-1. They're looking to take a critical swing game and go 3-2 back to Amalie Arena. Home team has not won the first 5 games of a conference final since 1985. The New York Rangers here. So not in a good spot to be for the Rangers. They've got to win 2 straight now, and that's got to start on the road on Saturday before they can even hope to have a Monday home game at MSG. But we'll see what the Rangers are made of. You can't count them out yet, but they certainly took a few gut punches in this series because, again, Game 3 it was being up 2-0 and then losing, getting scored in the final minute. Same thing now, final minutes tied, and now we have a scrum between Stamkos and Paul. The Rangers, they are throwing a ton of fists here. Stamkos has Lindgren, I believe, toward the right side, and it's still going on here, as you imagine it would. Nick Paul is being held by Lindgren. So Lafreniere and Stamkos come together. They're throwing punches. Lafreniere and Stamkos are going at it now. Overhand rights for Stamkos. Several back for Lafreniere as he wrestles him down to the ground, but they're still throwing. Lafreniere's still trying to feed Stamkos his lunch. My goodness, we've had a little bit of an auspicious ending here between these two teams. But when it's all said and done right now, this game is over. It's a 3-1 win for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are taking a 3-2 series lead back to Amalie Arena. Chernak with a few more fists there to Strome. And I'm still going to stick around here just in case we have anything else going on. The Zebra is trying to get everything else corralled and calmed down here at MSG. But what an effort from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Couple of slashes against Kucherov. He didn't like that, and that's what started this whole thing. And then Stamkos and Lafreniere came together, and then Lafreniere gave Stamkos a couple how do you do's. And Stamkos, I'm gonna give you some overhand rights. And he actually got a piece of the face and not the visor there. So Vasilevsky with another humongous performance. Tampa Bay steals it late. They win this one 3-1 and take a 3-2 advantage at Amalie Arena. I will be back Saturday night on the call, 8:15 Eastern. Have a good one, everybody. Peace. And we'll talk to you soon.